Legends, welcome back once again. Thank you very much. Very special podcast today, episode 5, with my man Operative9. Let's get right into it on this lovely Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers, and of course I'll tell Grant, thank you so much, Operative.
Hey, there we are.
What up?
What is happening, Warriors?
Warriors!
We gotta get our shields up for the Warriors that are in here already.
Shields up, yes sir. AKA lab coats. And how about a couple 8-bit warriors with the shield?
Hey man, those emotes are looking pretty dope.
Hella fresh, huh? Dude, honestly, pure blessing. Hooked up by all the legends, straight up.
Ah, you know that's a good thing about being young warrior, right? You got a great following.
God damn, man. Bless purely every day, man. Yeah, I'm super grateful, man. It's just crazy to me, you know, what it's developed into, and you know, I'm still reaching for the top.
For sure, man. You know, it doesn't seem like that long ago when you were just you know, just playing some games and you're like, hey, I think I'm gonna start doing it.
Yo, what up, Wyatt? Yup, exactly, dude. I mean, I always started with the art, but you know, I mix up the games in there because that's another passion, and you know, it's just all about, it's just all about the fun.
That's where I met you at, though. Like,
True.
I met you through Hopan playing PUBG on the beta server.
Right? Oh my god.
And you're like, oh, hey,
that was the shit.
You know, Hopan's like, hey, you know, he streams too. And I came over and checked it out. I think you were actually my first sub.
Yeah, I think so. And, well, of course, you started your stream, you know, little bit inspired by the legend, so.
Oh, of course, you know, and that's the great thing about the Warriors community is that they're always very positive. You know, they want to help out everybody that they can.
Absolute, man. I mean, to me, there's no greater compliment, obviously, like nothing greater than inspiring someone to put out, you know, what their passion is and do what they like to do. So yeah, man, that's super special. That to me is what, as you know, if I can say, like, one of my biggest accomplishments, I feel, is, you know, inspiring you to do that. And man, you're killing it, still killing it, but hiatus killing it.
Yeah, you know, I mean, it's just life happens, you know, and
yeah,
it takes a lot of guts to become a full-time streamer, man, and that's why I totally wanted to support you on that too. And
yeah, man,
it's a brave thing to become a full-time streamer, man. For a lot of us, it's a hobby, even though, you know, it could be an expensive hobby, and but it also can be addicting too. And I see a lot of people, you know, just popping up Twitch today. I see a
how
lot
you
of
doing
people
today, Wire? Good to see you.
Going in the game that were people who were telling me to get involved in it. You know, like there's Cassie and Natasha. You know, they're streaming right now, like, and doing well. You know, and a lot of those people I met through the Warrior stream.
Absolute.
And, you know, I cannot tell you how important it is to network. And, you know, on my very first one, I was pushing about 50 viewers on my very first one. That, you know, that was before, you know, that was all pre networking stuff.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's amazing, the community. I still can't believe it, and I'm blown away every day by, you know, seeing who comes through and who consistently supports, and it's amazing, dude. Yeah, and to see you, you know, experience that, you know, and take that and run with it, like, greatest possible thing, dude. It's so cool. So I mean, we all we all want to see some more.
It was great. It was great. Like Hopan always says a thing that I definitely kind of took to heart there for a bit, and it was on the days that you feel like you shouldn't stream are the days that you should probably stream.
Exactly. Or I think I remember you telling me the quote. The days that you don't want to stream or you're like can't stream are the days that you need to stream the most.
For sure, yeah.
Right.
And it was like that too. I would be just in the worst mood, like just scrambling to get stuff together, and then as soon as it comes on, it's the show. Like.
Absolutely.
And Thekas helped out with that a lot. For people who don't know who Thekas is, that's my wife, and she
the
helped me set
legend.
up almost all of the OBS stuff. The cool thing about it was that
how's the audio? Wire? Can you hear Operative? Okay.
They really did. They liked our interactions, and
yeah,
that's kind of why it kind of fell flat. Her career got much bigger. She got much busier. She's into politics now. She's into, so I tried a couple of streams without her, and it just wasn't the same, and the viewership gets bored really quick, and I figured I'd go out on a high note,
absolute. And I mean, I think as you expressed, like it's not done. It's just, you gotta do where you're at in life now, and then, when you can get back around, you're gonna get there. Cool. Thank you, Wyatt. I mean, do you think you gonna want to stream again, or?
Well, it's a lot like art. You definitely want to get into it again. There's an itch, and you want to scratch it. But I got rid of my equipment. Actually, I sold it to Hopan, and his setup actually got a bunch nicer. I was listening to his audio on a couple of his last VODs.
Yeah,
that microphone was great. I was not properly utilizing that thing.
Oh, what was a Yeti?
Yeah, it was the Yeti Pro Black Edition.
Yeah. That's sick, dude. Yeah. Oh, it's so good to him. Damn.
I had that sucker literally taped to the ceiling of my kitchen.
Right. That's so sick, dude. That's crazy. Yeah, it was great. I thought the quality was always good. You had really nice camera placement, bunch of different angles, and so you can see everything that was going on. Like, dude.
Yeah, so well, like when it comes to art and any fashion, when it comes to art, like you definitely want to showcase the art that you're doing. But then in Twitch, people are also definitely looking towards the face of what who's doing it. They want to get into your head while you're doing it and ask questions, and the face is very important.
Of course.
Some people can get away without having their face on screen. Natasha did it. Natasha got most of her viewership without ever putting her face on there. She's a beautiful lady. When she got on there, she just kind of popped off.
Yeah, it's fucking
absolute. Oh wow, we got a big host coming in, Lepop. Hey. Welcome in, Lepop, and everybody say hello to Operative9, my man. The legend himself. Ellie, thank you so much, baby girl. How was your stream? Mwah!
So yeah, we're just
doing this
podcast idea, man. I really dig it. I like you talking to people about just life and Twitch and art and how it all comes together.
Oh my God, are you okay, Ellie?
I'm totally
you fell.
behind that.
Oh my God, dude, absolute. I mean, inspired a lot by you. I think we tossed around this idea, a few times, and of course you have your kind of podcast deal show that you do with your boys, and so I know that you got the experience, and yeah, I mean, once again, like most things, kind of out of necessity, like, we would have, I'd want to have Discord night and have people in, and the discussions are always awesome and super lit, and so it was like, damn, we should just make this a real thing and have it be real.
For sure, that was that like I mentioned before, that's probably the biggest thing about.
Nice, Ellie. What'd you stream?
The Young Warrior Twitch is just the community that you bring in there, and you got lots of cool characters and lots of warrior generals. And,
absolute.
Just the support that you get from people is great here, and
dude.
Yeah, I mean, I really can't overstate it.
Dude, can't be overstated. Like I say, I'm freaking blown away. It's insanity. But yeah,
There have been some nights when I've come in here and was having some pretty low nights, and you come in here and the positivity and the energy that you get from you and the people who pop through is just it'll change your night.
Yeah. God, dude. I gotta say, I didn't ever imagine it could be that way, man. Like, and I'm so grateful. Like, the greatest thing I think I could do is help someone, even just having that positivity, to give to them and have it affect them and turn them around. Like, oh my God, dude. Like, never would have imagined that. And, it's the greatest thing.
Yeah, bro,
it's the greatest.
You got to give yourself some credit, man. You're a very
Whitewater is my man. Thank you for the host.
Cool
What
dude.
up, me?
You have a good energy about you. You're kind of like a bright star.
Damn, dude. Thank you so much. Well, yeah. I mean, I give it everything I got. I mean, now and always. I mean, I kind of treated it like. I mean, not like a job, maybe per se, because it has a certain connotation, but, I just always wanted to give my best, because I feel like if you do that, people will appreciate it, and they'll see, and hopefully they'll be grateful in understanding, that I'm doing that, so.
Yeah, absolutely. And, that's kind of like a transition into cooking a little bit. That's Twitch is
Dude,
a lot like
4x6 foot
cooking in a
whiteboard
professional
is
sense.
crazy, right?
You have to have some swag. You have to come at it. You have to come at it hard, and you have to be a perfectionist about it.
Yeah.
In order to really thrive, because let's be honest, man, there are millions of people out here doing Twitch.
Yeah.
And just the little things are what really sets people above.
For sure. Yeah, and
you can watch Shroud with 30,000 people,
right?
And it's all skill for him.
Sure.
But
well, yeah, that's
when it comes down to people like Dr. Disrespect, his skills are good and they're there,
right.
But it's really his persona and his just the way that he, really his kind of just his production values.
Sure,
is what I'm trying to say.
Definite.
That are really why people watch him, I think.
Absolute. Well, yeah, I look at that, because I think that's important because, even with the success that I have, I mean, I'm reaching toward so much more, and I mean, to me, it'll never be enough, so to speak. I mean, I always want to be improving and doing more and doing different things, and I think I just have always felt that, complacency is like the enemy. You know what I mean? Like, like you can't ever just be like, damn, like I'm killing it, like, this is good, and because then it creates the fear of loss. You know what I mean? Because it's like, okay, well, I'm doing this thing, and then, but it was working, now it's not working, and what's the problem? It's like, no, like if you're just always giving it 100%, like, I just don't think.
Yeah, and it's just like this thing we're doing right now. You always got to be trying new things in the next thing and to see how it works out and how your viewership appreciates it, or if they're more into other things like gaming and stuff. I think you've got a pretty good recipe going, for what you're doing.
Excellent adjective, as it were.
Of course.
Dude, yeah, appreciate it. But yeah, man, definitely want to get into some food talk. I mean, it's probably about dinner time or so across our time zones, and it's probably good. I told everyone, I was like, you're gonna need a snack, get a snack ready for the podcast, because we're gonna be going in right here.
So like what's like your very favorite dish, like your go-to, if you like last night on earth sort of scenario? Like,
dude,
what's your favorite?
I mean, at this point, it's a great question too, because I think, immediately you ask that question to anybody and kind of two things pop up. Dabal is saying mac and cheese, which I get, which he uses the Op9 recipe, Welcome into
I'm
ball.
still proud of that. I'm still really proud.
My man, the ball. How you doing, brother? Only logical choice, yeah. But I think, when you ask that question to someone, like, the first, like, two things pop up. It's, like, either something that you make or maybe something you get at a restaurant. You know what I mean? Which is fine. Either way is fine, right? But, and there's some dishes that I've had at restaurants that are, like, just crazy, But, to me, it's that steak au poivre, man, because...
Yeah, I knew you would say that.
You knew it. You already knew. But I mean, I have done it enough times to where I feel like I'm comfortable making it. I make it the way that I make it the way that I like it. With my sides, asparagus hollandaise, roasted potatoes. And
are you making that hollandaise from scratch?
Oh hell yeah, my dude! Come on.
Of course, I knew it.
You gotta know. But yeah, and actually, that's like the most simple thing like ever. Like. 3 egg yolks, stick of butter, little salt, pepper, tablespoon of water, tablespoon of lemon juice. Throw it on the double boiler.
Now that water in there, that's the pro tip, man. Mm-hmm. A lot of people don't know that the water actually helps it to not break because hollandaise very easily. They're very volatile things, They don't want to chill out as an emotion.
Oh my God, the ball, Jesus Christ!
And it doesn't really have the benefit of having some of the more robust liaisons, like the mustard or honey, for example. Those are the things that keep dressings together,
Right.
So it doesn't really have one of those like super good liaisons to just keep it emulsified.
A coagulant,
Yeah, it's super volatile, man. And imagine trying to hold that at a hot temperature all night long.
You can't, dude. Well, I mean,
just a little bit of cold water. You throw it in there, you mix it up really good, and it'll come right back.
There it is. Yes, I mean, because I think a lot of restaurants or whatever like probably do like a huge batch, and they have it warming all night, and I don't even know how they do it, but that'd be pretty typical, right?
Yeah. You should throw up some like Instagram pictures or something of some.
Oh, I have. I know. I have several up there, but yeah, I know. It's
I mean, for the viewers.
Of course, absolute. I do. Part of me is like, there's that whole thing of the socials. You're always kind of like, well, because it's young warrior fine art, and so I feel like. The stigma might be like, which actually I don't really care. I'll preface it with that, like it's whatever, because I post a ton of selfies and like other stuff too. But...
I think I actually did fillet a poivre on the stream. Actually, I think I did that.
Did you?
Yeah, I think I have a picture up there on Insta of it.
I must have seen
I actually
that.
I actually had Hopan come through that.
That's right. Yeah. Holy shit, dude, that's crazy.
Yeah, Hopan has been there. I think he's been on like 4 or 5 times now.
Wow. Yeah, I remember he was there with.
Close, so.
Right. I think I remember he was there with.
Well, let's see. He actually came for 2 tier 3 dinners. So,
yeah.
And I still owe him the tier 3 dinner actually, but he came for Aaron J. Bang.
Yeah.
And he came for
Lawless, that's right. Yeah. I was just
Bang was an interesting one because Bang had some dietary restrictions.
Right.
So I basically had to stay in the wheelhouse of like keto, and I also got saddled with like Mexican food too.
Oh.
So Mexican.
That's kind
food
of a tough.
Keto, you would think it's pretty tough, but actually,
Not
like going back into the like traditional Mexican food, it's not really so carb heavy.
Sure. Well, if you like a maize, like a cornmeal, shouldn't be too carb, or is it pretty carb?
Well, yeah, I mean, corn is obviously predominantly carbohydrates.
Right.
It's got a lot of sugars in it, a lot of starches. But so I mean, that's kind of a staple of that particular food, but it's not like the end all be all.
Right.
You have chilies. You have thick like. Really good caldo, like the good broth, like
Oh my god.
stuff like that. So we could use, and I actually ended up making an albondigas, and I didn't.
What
Usually,
is
I
that?
like to put it. So albondigas literally in Spanish translates to meatballs,
Oh.
and it's a meatball soup that I do.
Oh my
with a
god.
nice broth.
Oh yeah.
And, yeah. Usually, you hold that shit together with rice, like cooked rice.
Yo, what up, sleeper?
So I had to figure out how to take that out
Podcast
of
night,
there,
baby.
and, I ended up using a little bit of like finely ground up mozzarella cheese.
Oh.
It ended up working pretty good.
Dang.
Hey, Tech, what's up, man?
Oh, that's Tech. I forgot.
Been a minute since I've seen Tech. Good to see you, bud.
Yo, Tech. Somehow. I remember he changed his name, but I couldn't, remember. Oh, my God. Yo. Tech the legend. Let's go. It's Tech.
One of the originals.
Don't
man.
be afraid to remind me. Of course I know. I love you guys for real. Yo, Tech, we love you to death. You
know
gotta know.
You
Hell
know
yeah.
that love is mutual.
Blow it up. Hell yeah. Dude, that sounds so good. But yeah, actually, so with my hollandaise, so it's really interesting because it calls for, and I'm using the Better Home and Gardens recipe, which I'm sure you mess with that Better Home and Gardens cookbook. Yeah.
I mean,
A little bit.
so when I was first getting started, I was all about recipes.
Yeah, you can
I
post
wanted
it in
to
Discord,
find all
me.
the
I don't know if
different
I'll
recipes,
look at it
and
right
I was
away,
really
but I'll get to it, my
consummate
man.
about learning everything I could about every cuisine and every culture and every kind of food and ingredient.
Definitely.
And honestly, I got kind of burnt out about it. And I
Yeah.
pretty much don't hit up recipes anymore unless it's about baking.
I like it. Okay. Because baking is pretty technical, but
Baking is straight up science.
Yeah.
Very, very technical measurements and things like that. And there's a little bit of room to play around and make it your own, but for the most part, baking is like science.
it's got to be pretty right on. It's true, yeah, and well, I'll kind of come back to that, but yeah, so it's because it's crazy because like I'll whip up the egg yolks and then put in the tablespoon of water and the tablespoon of lemon juice, and then kind of slowly, just mix in. I use margarine actually usually for the hollandaise, and just get it going, and then it thickens up, but then it always breaks in the pan over the double boiler.
Oh yeah.
I basically just cook it to that breaking point, take it off, then add a little bit more cold water, and just bring it right back, and it's perfect.
Yeah, for sure. Like you can do it like a pan sauce or almost like a beurre blanc as well if you don't want to do the double boiler method.
Oh, how dare you!
It's a little bit more technical and it's a little bit more difficult, but that cold water will definitely help you bring it back.
Yeah. Beurre blanc is kind of like
I think I actually broke mine on the stream when I was making it. And I think I actually used that technique to bring it back. But I do remember bringing it back on stream, and it was really cool to capture that.
Right. Because like any person, like especially if it's like their first time or something, and they're like trying to impress and they're all worried, they're like, oh my god, it's ruined. Like, nah, so simple.
Oh yeah, that's a thing that will happen. I mean, the first time you try to make hollandaise, it will break. Like that is for sure.
I mean, like I say, I bring it to that breaking point because to me that's like it's done, kind of cooking, so to speak. But I mean, I guess over a double boiler, it's not really cooking; it's just getting it to emulsify, right?
Oh, I mean, it definitely cooks over the double boiler. It uses the
hell yeah, charcoal grill.
Pan, and that's kind of how.
Yeah, I mean, it does warm it, but that's the thing. Of course, you're trying to avoid is freaking scrambled eggs, which I actually did the other night. But.
Tech's talking about grilling techniques. Yeah.
Oh hell yeah, dude!
That's a whole nother facet of cooking.
Oh yeah.
Basically, the primary tenet is to get it as hot as you possibly can.
Mm-hmm.
You definitely want that seared.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, man. So my greatest testament to baking is my grandma's recipe for chocolate chip cookies, and yeah, dude, and they are insanity, dude. I made a painting of them, like it was so good, like I had to capture that. But yeah, like I mean, she's got this recipe, and You don't change it. If you leave anything out, you substitute anything, it's just not right. It has to be, that exact.
Yeah.
Exact.
Does she do the like little bit of water, like the little palm of water in there when she's mixing in the?
No.
A good friend of mine, his mother made really great chocolate chip cookies, and I couldn't figure out how to do it. She used way more butter than I did, of course, but
interesting.
I couldn't really figure out how to do it. And then I watched her, and she literally just filled her little palm
I'll check them out
with a little bit of water and just added it to the mixture. And she said that the steam actually helped them to rise a little.
Oh, wow.
I don't know how I feel about
that. That's tight. So how does that work?
Exactly. And a lot of things about recipes and a lot of like food that you get from old ladies and grandmas and stuff, they have a healthy dose of wives' tale in there.
Oh yeah, exactly.
But for some reason it works, and I think it just comes down to love,
Absolute. Well, that's it. And with that translates to me a little bit to experience. I mean, there's an issue, whether it be maybe that's like an altitude thing or something, where you get that little bit of water in and it just helps things go, and so that's only going to be, with that family, in that recipe, in that house, basically,
Yeah.
And
from a technical standpoint, I mean, it's not enough water to make steam actually come out of the cookies any more than it would. But I think it might actually help with the temperature, perhaps.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Because, when you're cooking cookies, the temperature is very important. It has to be cold. The dough has to be very cold. Otherwise, when you put it in the oven, it'll all just melt and it turns into a pool of cookie on the bottom.
Yeah. So even if you just
maybe that water,
yeah, maybe the water does it. Like,
just cools it down a little bit. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it works, however.
Like, even if you, because, like, I got to scoop the cookies out with a spoon and just plop them down. Because, like, if you're trying to ball them up in your hand, just that little bit of, heat transfer into the butter will, like, jack it up, dude. Cooking is a lot about love. Meaning your attention to detail. Exactly, Tech. Hell yeah. Love is the key, boys. That's
Tech knows about that.
Oh, hell yeah. But yeah, man, it's like, there's a little brown sugar, regular sugar. You start by, she actually uses butter Crisco.
Yeah, that's actually a common use for older cooks. They're definitely into the lard, the Crisco.
Yeah, that's what the recipe is, and it's freaking.
I don't think there's any better thing on the planet for pie crust, for sure.
Oh, god damn!
It's got to be Crisco, or a snow cap. Like straight up lard is the best way to go.
Damn, huh? I've never messed with that, but I've kind of been curious. I've made some pie crust, and it's pretty good. Kind of like, I guess my first experience was with trying some what's like Gordon Ramsay's freaking favorite recipe or whatever? Beef Wellington.
Yeah, Wellington.
Yeah, I've tried a couple Wellingtons, and honestly, the pastry turned out pretty good, but brother, that's a rough recipe, dude. I can't get it right.
Oh man, that the cook in the middle of it is definitely an issue. With Wellington. But a lot of the things in between it are what really helps to get that cook better. There's duxelle, which is the chopped up mushrooms, and I think he actually reduces it with sherry, and then you can put spinach in there. There's things that actually insulate the meat so that when it does capture the heat, it helps to cook it more complete.
For sure. Yeah, Wellington is an expert level dish.
Wellington is intimidating no matter who you are.
I was messing with Wellington like before I even knew anything about anything.
For sure.
Fucking making pie crust and shit, putting like a pate on and shit. Oh my god.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. The only times I've ever done Wellington, it's kind of an old school recipe, That's his signature dish, and that's why he does it, but it's kind of old school,
Yeah.
But definitely, I think the sear that you get on the beef before you wrap it is super important.
Absolute. Damn, dude. Yeah, it like, and again, Better Home and Gardens recipe is what I got. Like, we tried to make Gordon Ramsay's Scotch egg. It was rough.
Hey, Scotch eggs are difficult. God. I mean, once you get it down, though, it really comes down to the soft-boiled egg part. Once you figure out how to do that, you've got.
So what is a Scotch egg?
So a Scotch egg is a soft-boiled egg that is wrapped in sausage, and then it is coated in a breading, I think a panko.
Okay.
Breadcrumbs.
Yeah.
And then it's deep fried real quick.
Oof.
So
fuck, that
you definitely
sounds
want
good.
the egg in the middle to still be soft-boiled, right?
Right.
So when you deep fry it, it's an intense heat from the deep fryer.
Right.
And in order to get that crispy golden and also get the sausage cooked, you have to really ease off on the soft-boiled egg.
Because otherwise you're just going to have a hard-boiled egg.
Exactly. Well, like a 6-minute egg, a 6-minute cook on a soft-boiled egg is usually the way to go. But with that one, I actually like to pull it off a little bit sooner. You want it to the whites to just barely solidify.
Sure.
Just enough for you to be able to wrap it. And you wrap it very carefully like a package. And then you bread it and then you go from there. But if you do a 6-minute egg, you're going to get a pretty much hard-boiled egg by the time you get done cooking that sausage.
Damn. So for you, hard-boiled egg would go how long? Just a straight-up hard-boiled egg?
Yeah.
12 minutes?
Hard-boiled eggs, definitely tech. Talking about the 12-minute egg, that's a perfect hard-boil right there.
Okay. It's so funny because my grandma, my dad was with this lady for a while, and she's like, hard-boiled eggs, you just do them for 20 minutes. It's like, god damn. Yeah,
that's a good way to make them gray.
That'll get it. Like, that'll definitely get it. That's more than enough. I make them every day, 12 minutes, then ice water. Oh, hell yeah. Good looking.
That's the proper technique, man. You got it down.
That's tight. Dude, that sounds good. But I don't... So what would you say for frying, like, if you don't have a deep fryer, so to speak?
Well, I mean, obviously, not everybody has a deep fryer, but you could also do it in a deep pan with a good amount of oil. The only problem with that is that holding the proper temperature in a pan is a lot more difficult.
Right.
And I think cast iron can actually help for that. If you have a deep enough cast iron basin, that can actually... Because cast iron does tend to hold in heat a lot better. So you can heat it up to the proper temperature and then just kind of keep temping it throughout the deep frying process.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I've seen like Dutch oven utilized, which I think helps regulate.
Absolutely. Yeah. Dutch ovens are like much thicker, so they do kind of work like cast iron does.
Enamel coated cast iron is what it is, right? Operative? Did we lose him?
I'm here.
Oh, my bad.
Sorry, the wife's texting me.
You're all good. But yeah, that's what a Dutch oven is, right? Is enamel coated cast iron. I think.
Yeah, I didn't know. I think the Dutch oven. I don't know. I think the Dutch oven's made out of cast iron. I'm not sure, but I know it is enamel coated.
Yo, we're talking to the legend, the man, Operative9, baby.
Shields up, warrior.
Certified chef, certified.
So I'm glad that you guys with the emo, you knew what I was actually talking about with the shield. It's kind of like a Sparta thing, you know, like when you raise your shield up, like to go into battle.
Yeah. It's an oven.
Yeah, I thought for a minute it would be like people might think it's some kind of like Star Trek reference or something.
Nah. No, man, shields up. I wish, I mean, you gotta have the tier 3. It's gotta be something, so it's the 8-bit, but it would be tight to have the 8-bit, you know, available so you could literal shields up, but you know. Oh shit, cool. Yep. Yeah, Meep's kind of a newer legend, if you will. Young guy, super dope artist.
You know, that's the coolest thing about Young Warrior and his stream is that everybody is welcome for the most part. And
Definitely.
the cool thing is I love watching people come in being trolls.
Yeah, right.
And, it takes 15 minutes and then they're one of us, you know? Like
yeah, right?
We convert trolls around here.
I love it, dude. I know, right? Damn.
That positivity, you know, you can't derail the positivity of this.
Unrivaled. I believe it. But yeah, man, so you know that's kind of my favorite deal. And you know, I do these I just get like either, you know, some red potatoes or maybe some nice little golden petite potatoes, and do a little rosemary and garlic, olive oil, and just freaking roast those dudes off. Like, oh my god, the little crispy, the little crispy garlic bits. Oh my god.
Yeah, definitely. You know, some people aren't into that, and I think it adds so much depth to it. As long as you don't burn them, you know, you don't want burned garlic. That tastes.
Tech,
but you know, if it's nicely caramelized, even to
I love it, Tech.
Good amount of dark.
Oh yeah,
you know, it's okay. But once it gets black, it's over.
They could take a pounding. Yeah, it's true. Once it's black, it's gross. But there is like I guess maybe you would even call it like a delicacy called black garlic, right? Like dehydrated.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. Black garlic is not like burnt garlic.
Yeah, it's more
black
like
garlic
fermented.
is actually used a lot. Yeah, it's used a lot in Chinese cooking, and it's delicious. It is. We were talking about umami the other day.
Yeah,
and that is full of umami. That
full.
Is nice.
What garlic?
It's a completely different flavor from what you would think. You definitely get the garlic hint that you're used to, but man, just
not
like,
African garlic.
I don't even know how to describe it. It's a caramelized, like deep, almost like chocolatey flavor.
Wow, really? Yeah, I watched. There's a great YouTube channel you probably mess with, Bon Appetit, and they do a lot of different type of things. But one of their series is called "It's Alive" with Brad Leone. You know that dude? Yeah. Do you watch those?
I haven't seen those ones, but I can kind of get what they're going for.
Oh yeah,
just by the title.
Oh dude,
a lot of like living organic.
It's crazy.
Things like that.
Dude, it's so, and Brad is hilarious, dude. But yeah, he does a you watching? Yeah, Kappa or no, Tech? Come on now. Making me hungry. I told you guys to get a snack ready. But yeah, he does a bunch. He does first one was like kombucha, pretty obvious. But he's done like miso, which literally it's over a period of like a year. So like they film like the beginning a year ago and then go back like and show the whole thing.
That's crazy.
It's legit.
So they're actually like making miso.
Yeah. And getting some of the like, you know, sauce or whatever, that the little juice that comes off. And that's like a fish sauce.
I had actually like ran that idea a little bit, tried to thinking about it. Maybe doing like sauerkraut or like kimchi, and just kind of like showing people as the stream goes on, you know, how it's changing, dude, and what's happening to it.
That would be lit. That would be so sick.
But you know how it is, man. Every idea that we have, somebody
enable pod. What do you mean?
So it just depends on how good you do it.
Well, yeah, no, of course. It's so cool to see. I think you know, either way, but yeah, man, great episodes. Yeah, and so one is he does black garlic, which he actually just dehydrates over. I mean, I think it's over like a week or maybe more. And I don't know. I don't think it really produced quite what he wanted, but I don't know if that's the typical process for it. But yeah, it's hilarious because he talks about
the miso itself.
For like black garlic.
Oh, for black garlic, yeah, it definitely you dehydrate it and then it goes into a fermentation process for a long time.
Oh, okay. Wow. Interesting. Yeah, no, I think he tried to speed it up doing just in the dehydrator, but.
Yeah, the only really thing I've ever messed with black garlic is we used to make a black garlic aioli that used to go with one of our, gosh, what was it?
Oh my god.
Oh, it was actually a steak sandwich. We used to use the leftovers from our prime rib.
Oh my god.
Black garlic aioli.
Yeah, brother. That sounds insane. So did you guys make the black garlic?
No, we got the black garlic ordered in. It was a Chinese product.
That's
but
right.
for the amount that we were using it, and it does take a long time.
Right.
We had to order that in.
And you can't have that be like a $50 sandwich and shit.
Yeah, I know, right? It's it's hard to kind of quantify the labor that you put into the food.
Sure.
Because you feel like you're always trying to lower the cost, of everything that you put on the plate for the consumer.
Yeah. But, I mean, it depends on the spot, too. Like, I think there, obviously there's a lot of spots that are dedicated to no compromise, It's going to be the best, but...
Those people, you're going to spend $300 for your meal, but,
exactly.
I like to feed the people.
Yeah, exactly.
I like to feed the people.
Yeah, exactly. Although, to me, to me, the way that you get that $300 meal is that you make it yourself, and even though to get to that $300 meal might take you, that much cost in times of perfecting it, but
so once this is kind of an interesting thing that I'm noticing in the food world. The rich people, the kings, the queens, the lords, they got the best cuts.
Mm-hmm.
And the people of the lower caste would get the sort of leftovers, right?
Right.
That's where we get chicken wings and gizzards and things like that.
Yeah.
And what would happen is the people of the lower caste had to have ingenuity. And they made those foods by method of slow cooking and things like that. They made those things desirable. Now you go into a grocery store and tell me how much chicken wings cost.
Right.
And you will be shocked.
It's like as much as anything else.
Oh, even more. You can buy chicken breast for cheap as hell, and then you go over and get the wings.
And they're more expensive.
Short ribs, man. Like, short ribs are ridiculous.
Yeah,
they were charging $15 for like 6 of those things.
Wow.
And that used to be garbage, Kalbi,
right.
Galbi, the Korean way to make those things. It's delicious. It's probably some of the best meat you'll ever have, especially over like a charcoal grill or something like that. But those things are so damn expensive now. They're so expensive you can't even get into it.
Because Korean barbecue.
Oh, dude, Korean barbecue's taking over the world, man.
I know.
Everything's Korean barbecue.
Dude, I want to mess with that so bad.
Korean barbecue.
You bought what?
Oh, I bought a Korean barbecue flavored pork rinds the other day. They were delicious.
Oh my god, that sounds ridiculous. Holy shit. Ooh. So what's that? Just like some like umami seasoning or something on them?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, so Kalbi marinade as it goes is soy, dark soy. Actually has Asian pear. It can contain apple, and it usually has gochujang in it.
Oh, gochujang.
Is
fermented
pepper paste, Korean pepper paste.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But anyway, all those flavors put together, and that's the beautiful thing about Korean food is presented in a way where there's so many different flavor profiles, and it all goes together. You've got your salty, your sweet, your spicy, and then they're really all about color. Korean food is some of the most colorful, artistic food I've ever seen.
No kidding.
Yeah, you go to a Korean barbecue place.
Dude, I need to hit one so bad.
They put out no less than 8 side dishes, of all different things.
That's so tight.
Sometimes up to 20 or 30. I've seen up to 30 side dishes.
No way. Yeah. Oh,
and
God.
It's the best.
Dude, that's so
you just sit there and you try out all these flavors, and you try the combinations, and you get to cook the food, you know, to your specifications.
Presentation a lot. Dude, I need to mess with it. That's a perfect date spot. About to be.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, you know, and it can be pricey, but it's worth it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, man. That sounds so good.
That's almost where I hit up almost every birthday I ever had is at a Korean barbecue.
Yeah?
We got a place out here in Portland called K-Town Barbecue.
Mm-hmm.
It's getting so popular now that they don't even take reservations. It's just whoever shows up, you know, get on the list.
God. So you just got to get there first.
Yeah, you get there early, and
wow.
You know, you get there, and it could take up to 3 hours sometimes, you know, for the whole experience.
Sure. It's so cool. I love that idea because it's kind of like almost. I mean, if you stretch maybe a little, like do it yourself, Benihana in a way. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Kinda.
A lot of things. A lot of my Chinese buddies. I have a lot of friends from Hong Kong and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
They're definitely into hot pot.
Oh,
they call it
yeah.
hot pot. Japanese people call it shabu shabu, but it's like basically a little butane burner with a big ass pot, and the stuff you put into it makes a killer soup.
Right. They have the different broths and yeah.
Gomae, which is like a sesame dressing, and then they have ponzu, which is like sort of a citrus soy, and you just
kind of limey.
You just pop your meat in there, and then you let it cook. You pull it out, you dip it in the sauce, and it's excellent.
Oh my god!
Shabu shabu is another one of my favorite dishes, and the way that it's presented is gorgeous. It is art all in itself.
God damn. I'm getting hungry myself, dude. I thought I was ready.
Yeah.
Dude,
hey man, you know, talking about food, you know, with people who are passionate about art and food, you're definitely gonna get hungry.
That's it, I'll pop my meat in there so fast. How much do you mess with YouTube?
You know, when I was originally doing my my stream, I would upload them to YouTube whenever I can.
Right.
A lot of times they would get deleted, but I still do have some old school Op9 Agency YouTube stuff.
Yeah.
I think you can actually search Operative9 and probably get a couple.
I'm gonna check it out right now. Actually, I think I remember that, but why were they getting deleted?
Well, you know, I used to play music in the background,
Uh-huh.
and I couldn't believe it. My girl Sade. You know, I used to play Smooth Operator on there because Operative9, you know. My girl Sade shut that down. Every single one I ever played that song in, they were like,
oh,
nope.
man, come on.
That's my theme song, man. Come on, girl. Watch the show. Watch the show.
Smooth
You'll love me.
Operator. I know you will. I probably can't even sing it. What was it? Just Operative9? Or 09?
Yeah,
or
I'm pretty
underscore?
sure it was just, pretty sure it was Operative9 or maybe underscore. Any of those. I don't know. But I actually put it on the same channel that DeBall set up for me way back in the day so that we could do Op9 bangers.
Oh, shit. Hold up.
You never know. I mean, it's been a minute, so they might have all got taken down. I don't know.
I'm not even finding the channel, which is pretty sad.
Weird.
But
I think if you go back on Twitch, I might still have some episodes up.
Absolute. Let's do a quick shout out.
Oh, Tech, I haven't done a one in quite a long time. Actually, I kind of like left the game.
But guys, might as well go give him a follow. You know, there's some.
My boy. You know he's coming through. There you go.
Yeah.
That's what makes the ball the best moderator that Twitch has ever seen.
Let's go. That's what I'm saying.
Any single thing that you need.
There we go. Oh, Op9 Live. Op9 Live.
Op9 Live.
There we go. Cool. Hell yeah, dude.
You
Hell
should
yeah.
throw some of that up on the screen. I haven't seen that in a minute.
Oh my god. Okay, I got you. This is so good.
Hey, nobody needs to see that. I don't even know. I don't even have to click on it to know what that is. You just
Wait, what is Chocolate Whisper?
bit of chocolate whisper, baby.
Oh my god, what is that?
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, you can show it. It's good.
Did DePaul make that?
I think he might have added the music to
I never wanna dance again. Lick
yeah,
it.
we had some good time.
Great times, dude. Oh my god. 4 times
man,
a week.
It was so hard getting those C920s to behave, man. The colors
God.
are always off.
What is the problem with that, for real? Like, for real, what's the complication? Because I don't understand.
And it was terrible, because I'm trying to make this palatable, delicious food, and it all looks like brown shit, Like,
Dude,
it took a while to get it dialed.
You got quite a few
just
videos.
tore her hair out over that.
Dude, I know, and I still to this day deal with that shit, man. It's disgusting.
Yeah, we did something along the lines of like 64 shows, I think.
Wow.
In just that short amount of time. I think it was like 8 months I was airing them, and we ended up doing about 64 of them. So we went hard.
Lab Devs in the chat for the legend of all. Dude, you killed it, and I really, I hope you can get to a place where you can do it comfortably.
I think a big part of it is going to be probably getting my own kitchen. I mean, I was doing this out of the tiniest apartment kitchen.
Yeah.
You could imagine.
I think that's probably the key. And
yeah, and I think the angles for me were a big deal because
of course.
It's got to be about angles. And a lot of times I was like bumping my head into the camera and stuff. I think the ball even put up a counter for how many times I smacked my head on.
Oh, that's so good. Yeah, man. It's amazing. Like, when you're doing the thing. Yo, Dillbill, thank you for the bitsicle. Welcome.
What's up, my boy Dillbill there?
Coming through. When you're doing the thing, when you're doing the stream and setting up your own show, you really gain an appreciation for, the production value, and if you watch other shows, cooking shows, whatever it may be, you look at what they're doing and go, dang, like, they were doing it,
sure.
And,
it's I think because I was looking at a lot of people. There's a guy, I don't know if he still streams, but gosh, what was his name? But anyway, just the production and the way that they set up their cameras, and a lot of the people who are at the top tier of things,
mm-hmm.
they are definitely using DSLR cameras,
right?
And
photographers.
A lot of these people were photographers before.
Sure. Your boy got the DSLR right now.
Yeah, I noticed that. It's looking good.
I just hooked it up.
Your setup just keeps getting better, and I wouldn't expect anything less from.
Thanks, dude. I know. To me, purely investment. It's an investment in upgrading the stream, and I think if you do that, then...
it was the hunger service. The hunger service is what I was talking about. He has a pretty tight setup.
Mm-hmm.
And he actually was encouraging me to do stuff, because I just kept saying, man, I can't get this camera to work, or it just doesn't quite look right. And he was one of those people who's just like, just stream, just do it. Just hit the button, go live, like just do it, and you'll figure it out as you go.
Absolute. I'm of that persuasion, so to speak. Definite. Like, just do the thing and bring it together. And I mean, there's certainly a portion of you want to have your things together as best you can before you go live, so that you're bringing that good content. But
yeah, corgis definitely help in the streaming game.
Yeah.
And it seems to me like most chefs, like especially on Twitch, have corgis. I saw a couple of people who had corgis.
That's super interesting. Well, do you think it's kind of sort of like the Japanese influence, so to speak, or?
It could be. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm not gonna pretend that I didn't get that dog because of Cowboy Bebop. That's the dog I wanted from Cowboy Bebop. But I think also corgis are really good in any space. They're pretty good.
Tech, you're so
when
right.
it comes to like temperament and having around children and stuff. They're, just generally easygoing dogs. So a lot of us live in apartment buildings, and
Yeah,
they need to
you
be
need to
able
be pretty
to
chill.
adapt to their space very well. Corgis love to run, but they're also kind of lazy. They don't
Yeah.
run.
Yeah, man. Even for me, like I think about Bob Ross, and that production isn't too crazy. Like it's pretty simple, but he still has some nice shots. There's the wide shot of him, back a little bit. You get the full body. You can see him and working on the piece. Then you have a nice shot on the palette when he's mixing, and then a nice shot on the canvas. And
Yeah, well, Bob Ross was. I think the reason why he's so successful on Twitch is because he was just made for it. Like he was using the same camera angles that we're using now, or trying to use now. But he also obviously he has a camera crew. But
well, that's
and just the way that he speaks, it's very soothing.
Oh yeah.
I still think he invented ASMR.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, but that's the thing, is having the crew. And in order to get, those calculated zoom ins, that are, you just can't have a computer do that. You can't, like, set up a camera and have that angle. Like, you probably could, like, set up some timers or something and, get it to go to different shots. But
the timer's not going to help you out because it could change when you need it, when you need it to change. That was the largest and most important contribution that Thika's ever did was she sat on the camera.
Yeah, for sure.
She changed it. She knew what was going on.
That's what's up.
That meant that she had to sit there and watch me for hours chopping vegetables and she had to make the decision to change those cameras.
Sure.
She was a producer, man.
That's what's
up. And
up.
that was what made the show. That's what made the show really work.
Yeah.
I'll always give her credit for that.
Oh yeah. You could, you could do it solo and it would be just like one angle, maybe one camera, which is something. But
I've done it and I've actually changed the angles myself, but it just never quite works out as well. The transitions.
I love Bob Ross.
And for a guy like me, smooth transitions had to be a thing.
Period.
I could not have these choppy, going in at the wrong time angles type of things.
Yeah, no.
That's why I would not. I've only did a couple of them solo.
Yeah.
Pretty. They're not disastrous, but they're not like the greatest ones I've done. And I'm always trying to strive to be the greatest.
Yo, welcome back,
I think you do the same thing.
Exact. That's what it is. You got a certain standard for yourself, and to me, I wouldn't necessarily say I don't want to put anything out if it can't be that, but I'm going to do everything that I can to bring that production value because it's important.
For sure. Tech just said if Bob Ross was live, he would have 10,000 subs.
Dude, yeah.
Let me tell you right now,
more.
Bob Ross is streaming right now, and he has 2,701 viewers.
Yep.
If he was alive, he would have way more than 10K subs.
Oh, for sure. For sure. Yeah.
But I think part of the love of Bob Ross is the fact that he's not here anymore. And he was like this beacon of light.
True.
In the art world and just in as humanity goes, Bob Ross was one of our shining examples of how to be a person.
Oh, for sure. To me, any artist who wants to be sort of in the spotlight or share their art the way he did, absolutely, myself included, of course. We're all on his shoulders, man. He paved the road.
Oh, absolutely.
He showed us this is a beautiful way to do it. And
the thing about Bob Ross is you watch the way that he does things, and he's trying to show you in a sort of speed way. He's speed painting, but his accuracy and the way that he saw things were perfect. And his whole message was always like, you could do this, just try.
Yeah.
You know, like, just try. You don't have to pretend to be an artist. You already are.
Absolutely.
It's your world. Just build it. All you have to do is build this painting, and it's yours. And anything that
Yes.
you do is going to be art, even if you like it or not.
Exactly. Yeah. And
That's
mistakes.
a hard thing to think about.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
for me,
Oh,
I hate my artwork because it's not what I envisioned it.
Nah.
But you got to give yourself some slack. You
Well,
know? You gotta
yeah,
put
dude.
Put some slack in it.
Yeah, of course. It's never going to be perfect. None of my paintings are perfect at all. None of his were perfect, but, you know, no mistakes. Happy accidents, you know, and he emphasized
Man, it is
that.
so hard. It is so hard to hear you say that because looking at the way that you do things, man, some of the things that you put out are picture perfection. And I've got your stuff on my walls. Like, I look at it often.
Dude. I appreciate you saying, yeah, no, well, and that's the realness of it, you know. I strive for, you know, the photorealism in certain things, and, you know, other things it's just like, well, I think it's important to kind of have that realization that, like, you know, you can try to get there, you know, and you can spend as much time as you like, you know, getting it close.
It's really good to hear you say that when you put out a piece of art that it's not perfect in your eyes.
No,
because
man.
when we look at it, we're like, man, that shit is beautiful. It's perfect.
I hope so. I mean, to me, that's
it's good that you can open up and tell people that.
Oh yeah.
Especially people who are struggling with their art or not thinking that it looks good, to know that the people who are extremely good at it are still thinking the same thing.
Oh, for sure. I'm glad to hear. I mean, you know, it all comes back full circle to, you know, like I say, never having that complacency, like, you know, just giving your best, you know, and that's all I do. You know, I want to lay it down. Oh, baby girl, Amber coming through. How are you? I'm so happy right now. It's so good. But yeah, man, I mean, I think if you're always striving for better and giving it your best, you're going to make the best possible things that you can. And, you know, what more could anyone ask for? You know, I want to give the very best that I can. And so I do that. And, if it's not right, you know, I'm going to try to get it to where I want it to be. But someone said, probably several artists, you know, very famous or historically, that, you know, painting's never done, it's abandoned. You know, and it is, because, dude, I could work forever on any given piece, you know, and go back over, like, and
you can work it until you mess it up, basically.
Yeah, easily, you know, and then I'm like, okay, it's messed up, let's work on it more, like, you know. But that's the thing, too, is, especially with the artwork, you know, you have to know when to stop. Because, you know, if you get something that you really like, you know, there's no back button. You know, there's no Control Z. You know what I mean? And it's funny. You know. It's hilarious, dude, because sometimes, like, you know, I'll be working with a digital piece, and you know, it's nice to be able to just Control Z. You know, I can save it, and then it's not going to get messed up. And I will literally be working on a painting, step away, and have whatever that compulsion is inside to Control S. I'm like, oh wait, save. I'm like, oh wait, it's it's there. Like,
do you ever like I know I personally will get turned on by like one line. Like if I see a good curve when I'm doing a freehand or something, I'll see this one line and I'll just fall in love with it. And it just kind of like builds into this whole picture that you weren't even planning on making.
I hope you guys enjoy it. I'm really loving this too. So sexy. Oh, dude, that's absolute. Like, sometimes it's perfect, and yeah, that's kind of what I'm talking about when I'm saying you know, you got to know when to stop, and you know, you make that perfect line. It's like, okay, cool, like, leave that alone, don't mess with it, because it's good, it looks sexy. And you know, and that's a lot of, I'm thinking of one artist, contemporary, that I just admire so much, Rob Ray. And he has these just vibrant paintings. I mean, the colors are like neon colors that are sometimes, you know, the focus of the painting, the kind of pinnacle piece, and then it radiates out, and that color is reflected on the things around in the environment. But he has these just super broad, confident brushstrokes that are just like, and you like to see that as a painting, you know. Like with me, I mix a lot and you can't really see the brushstrokes, but I've been really liking getting into leaving some of those just, you know, immediate confident strokes to see, because it looks so good, you know.
Yeah, you know, that kind of takes me back to that painting that you did, sort of like a Bob Ross inspired painting, and you were kind of debating over how to make the trees blend into the ground, really.
Yep.
And I was like, well, you know, Bob, man, he just kind of makes little bushes down there. He makes
Oh,
like
yes.
this whole little world, you know, down there in the bushes, and with little flowers of like varying different colors and things like that.
Yeah.
And you know, that was one thing about Bob Ross, going back to him again, is that you know, he had those confident strokes, and he would always
Thank
say,
you,
it's time to
Amber.
make some life choices, you know.
Yeah.
Whenever he put a big ass tree down the thing.
Dude, I remember the exact moment, and not only did it save the piece, but it saved me from myself, and dude, I was super grateful, man. I still have that video recorded. I was trying to do, you know, a whole series of, and I'm still probably gonna get it up one of these days, but
Hey, Tech, confident strokes are good in all the things in life.
well said. Absolute. That's what's up. That's real. That's real. Maybe that's why it looks so good, you know. But
yeah, man. You know, I was actually thinking about that today. Like, you know, I think that the chefs and artists are kind of the same. You have to have sort of a swagger about you. You have to be confident in the things that you do. Really do.
Absolute.
You have to know that you're good, because I think that's part of the reason why I kind of got out of it, was just like cooking. I mean, it's just you know, when you start to, your confidence starts to waver a little bit in what you do and who you are. You got to take a step back and really like reassess what you're doing.
Wow.
Because especially as a chef, man, you got to be at the top of your game all the time.
Absolute. I'm sure.
This is like it.
Wired. I don't know if I
making a
have. Can you drop the
painting
link
that
for
you
me, dude?
have
That'd be.
less
I
than
appreciate
15
it.
minutes to make. It has to be perfect, and then the person can not only look at it but taste it.
Right. Because as you say, first we eat with our eyes.
Mm-hmm. And it's like if anybody ever saw Jiro Dreams of Sushi, right?
Oh, dude.
This man. Yeah,
That's.
you know,
I've
this
watched that
man
documentary
has
at
taken
least
50
3 times.
Yeah, he's taken 50 years to perfect something, knowing that you literally cannot achieve perfection.
Right.
That is such a Japanese mentality.
I
right?
love it.
Continue to strive for the unattainable.
Yep.
Perfection. Continue to strive for it.
It's interesting because there's a Salvador Dali quote that almost feels like it contradicts that, but I think it is the same thing. He says that, you know, don't worry about achieving perfection, because you will never find it. You know, which
yeah, exactly.
Which, like I say, kind of seems contradictory, but at the same point, I like that because then, you know, if you have the worry of trying to get it perfect and you don't, well, if it's not even there, then you can just do your thing, you know, and be like, it's not going to be perfect. I'm just going to do my thing, do the best I can, and it's going to be good. You know, it won't be perfect, but
well, you know, I think one of the greatest pieces of advice that you could get in life is to realize that when you stop and you look around.
One of the last uploads on his channel,
perfection is
on his
literally
YouTube
all
channel.
around us. The perfection is in the imperfection.
Only possible with computers, not humans. Even
When you
then,
look
though.
You know, when you look at a piece of art, it's the subtle things that aren't perfect that make the piece so special.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just like flowers, you know. People can go along and look for the perfect flower that doesn't have a single petal that has a bug, you know, bug-aided or it's wilted on one side, and they are completely missing the point of flour.
Yeah.
The flour is that they are all different and they are all perfect.
Damn,
just the
well
way
said,
that they are.
Ember. Yeah. Ah, man. You see, and I think that's it's kind of a form of freedom, you know, because if you can learn to appreciate those imperfections, you'll see them everywhere. But if you understand it and appreciate it, everything's good.
And I mean, you know, as like, I guess that's sort of the way that I'm thinking of things in nature. I can accept them, but I feel like when it comes to my food, I just cannot accept it. Like,
yeah, I hear
if
you.
something isn't picture perfect for me, I'm just like obsessed.
Dude,
with it.
you.
So that's what we all strive for, you know. We strive for the perfection that you see in nature.
You make such gorgeous dishes. They are gorgeous.
That's a big thing for me, and you know that's kind of what I wanted to focus on when I was going into Twitch. You know, being a visual medium, I definitely wanted to really take a look at plating and things like that, and I wanted to show people that your food can be elevated so much just by the way that you put it on the plate.
Sure, absolutely.
It's not a difficult thing, you know. It's art, of course, but it's not a difficult art, in my opinion. To just you know, take the tenets of the 3-point landing and things like that on your plate. You can make food that you eat every day look like it's gourmet.
Man, it's all those details though, and that's where you and I think hook up like straight away is those little details, man. And like what I appreciate about you is like the little things in the ingredients. Like it's not just salt, it's garlic salt or truffle salt, you know, or fleur de sel, you know, or what is it? What's this? Is that right? Did I say that right? The salt?
Fleur de sel, yeah.
Yeah.
That's that fancy French one.
Yeah, yeah.
Kind of grayish.
Buttery.
It is super buttery. That's the crazy thing about salts, like Himalayan salt, depending on where you get it from. And you also have to realize that all salt, no matter where it's at, came from what used to be an ocean.
Oh.
So even in the Himalayas, the salt that they're pulling from the Himalayan mountains,
that pink
used to
salt,
be salt that was in the ocean. Used to be salt that was in the ocean.
Wow.
You're tasting an ocean that hasn't existed for thousands, maybe even millions of years.
Dude, that shit's delicious. Delicious oceans.
You know, this planet and like everything that goes into it is just amazing. Like you're eating, when you eat salt, you're eating million-year-old rocks that are, think about it.
God damn. That's so crazy. Oh man, I want to hear about that dish that you made the other night. The
sockeye?
Sockeye. Yeah.
Yeah. So you got to start out with the quality of the fish. Quality is important in something that you're only going to cook for a maximum of about 3 minutes. You know, so it's got to be good fish from good sources. And it can be difficult to find, you know, good source protein, especially nowadays with all the pollution that's going on, things like that. But I actually have a friend of mine who's
to create computers that perfect our world. Wow.
We get
tech. That's heavy, brother.
Fish from him, and that's where we got our sockeye.
Okay.
And when you have a piece of sockeye or a piece of fish that's so great, you don't want to adulterate it with lots of ingredients or
let the natural things come through.
Yeah, and I actually used the so I made pan-seared, or it wasn't pan-seared, it was actually broiled. I made broiled sockeye, wild caught sockeye.
Oh, yeah.
I just did a little bit of the Himalayan salt, which Himalayan salt is the Hawaiian pink salt. It comes from volcanic.
Oh my God.
And Duvall saying that you're eating a star. Yeah, you're eating a star, and you are a star.
Correct.
Go figure that. You're made of stars, and you're eating stars.
We're all star stuff.
You want to get into the quantum, all that cosmology or whatever.
Yes.
I mean, it's insane what we are and how special we are and how easily we forget that.
Texas star, baby.
Tech was born a star. We all know that.
Eat me. I mean, it as it relates to like celebrity, it's all consumed. All that junk is consumed. Yeah. So
that's the silly thing about people who get way too into food as art. Food is meant to be eaten.
Right. Right.
It's meant to be eaten. It is a work of art that is going to most definitely be shit later. So you can't go too hard on it.
That's so funny. One of the guys we go to Vegas with during the Super Bowl, he always has just little like jokes that he comes up with, and he saves them. Like, I'm amazed how he remembers them. But we're talking about where do you want to eat, and he's just like, man, I don't know. Everything I eat turns to shit.
Yeah. It's all gonna be shit eventually.
It's true, but
enjoy it, and that's kind of like an analogy for life. You got to enjoy things while they're there.
Yes,
because
But as you
taste
say,
everything, enjoy everything.
For sure. I mean, but as you say, first we eat with our eyes, and you want to eat things that look good.
Oh, absolutely, and it is so amazing to me how a dish that's been properly presented can change the outcome of the entire dish just by tiny little bits of sauce or whatever, or some kind of artistic plating. It's amazing to me how that can up the quality. I mean, I can add $4 to a plate just depending upon how it looks.
Sure, for sure. Microgreens.
That's not. That's not really my MO per se.
Yeah.
I don't like to add. I don't like to add perceived value as much because we were taught in culinary school that perceived value is where it's at. And I don't really like to do that. Like I said, I like to feed the people, and I like to make it easily accessible, money-wise, as well as sustainable, local stuff-wise.
Man, that's stuff of legends only right there.
Oh, but I really gotta get back to that salmon.
Yeah.
So I ended up using a stone ground. You have a little mortar and pestle. I ended up using. I made a sun-dried tomato pesto.
That I made by hand.
Now the thing is, you only want like a tiny dollop of that on whatever big piece of fish you have.
Okay.
And it's really almost used as like a palate cleanser in a way, or sort of a way to wake up, and the acidity actually helps to cut the fat that naturally occurs in sockeye.
Yeah. Something to bounce off the flavors with.
Yeah. Because so acidity and fat are natural enemies. It's like oil and water in a way. So basically what happens when you eat something that's acidic when you're eating something very fatty, and salmon is very fatty, it's high omega-3s, and it's good fat,
Yeah.
But so generally, if you want to have your palate cleanser, you want your palate cleanser, then you want to do something that's acidic, and that's why we add like lemon or something traditional fish, because we want to continue to taste the maximum amount of flavor on our tongue. And fat is really good at coating your tongue.
Yeah.
So it actually coats your taste buds.
Interesting.
So a little bit of acidity in your sauce or whatever you're doing goes a long way with enjoying the actual flavor of the protein.
God damn.
So that's really actually what I was doing with the pesto.
Because there's a little acidity in the tomatoes.
Make their pasta from scratch. Ember's talking about a restaurant here that makes their pasta from scratch. Dude,
that sounds so good. I've never had pasta from scratch, as far as I know.
Oh man, you can do it. You can do it, and I know you, young warrior, would definitely master pasta. You're not the kind of guy who just dabbles on that,
I could maybe work it out. I gotta work up a little courage. Damn, yeah, and then I asked you to tell me about it again, but I'm trying to get it committed to memory. The what was the pepper that you used?
The pepper?
The Perry?
Or Telecherry.
Telecherry. I gotta think of Teletubby.
So Telecherry peppercorns used to be kind of a big deal. Nowadays they're a little bit easier to buy. Like you can buy them at Costco, like in huge vats of them.
Oh, wow.
But basically, by the time you get down to the bottom of it, it's just might as well just be regular ass table pepper. But telecherry peppers, when they are fresh, have a very fruity sort of aroma to them, and not quite as spicy as your regular black peppercorn. It is a black peppercorn, but it's a different variety. So the telecherry kind of gives a little bit of fruitiness, and I use that on the fish, and I also use them in my potatoes, and I also use white truffle
Jesus,
salt in the potatoes.
Oh, what kind of salt?
So I'm using white truffle salt.
Oh, the white truffle salt. Oh my god. I know, I'm sick of Jesus, Tech.
That's Tech though, you know. You can't hold him down. He's a wild man.
I know this.
He just says what's on his mind.
Damn, dude, that sounds so good. Oh my god.
That reminds me of one I had. I was bringing on a chefs, you know, that I had worked with, and one of my buddies, Carl, came on, and Carl is a chef in the biggest sense of the word, in the way that he has zero filter.
Oh.
And some of the shit that he was saying on there, I'm like, bro, you're gonna get me TOS. Like, what are you doing? What are you even talking about? But you know, I'm a chef too, and it was cracking me the hell up.
Oh my god.
I was like, how do you tell this man to stop saying stuff like that? You're the one who invited him here.
You're the one who invited, exactly.
But it ended up being great. Nobody got offended, you know. That's just the charisma of Carl.
Yeah.
We ended up we did like a tag team on the meal. We ended up doing risotto. He showed everybody how to do risotto.
Oh, damn.
And, I showed people how to do red wine braised short ribs. So.
Oh my
it came
god.
out beautifully.
That sounds ridiculous. Dang, dude. Yeah. I was asking about Justin Warner, who's a pretty famous chef, so to speak. I mean, mostly Food Network fame, if you will, but you know about him, yeah.
Yeah. We were talking about him the other day. He's the guy that used to do streaming.
Yeah. Well, where do you know him from?
From you, honestly.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you'd mentioned him a while back, and I kind of took a look at it.
Did you watch his show Chef Shock on Twitch?
I think I caught a little bit of a VOD of it, a couple of VODs maybe.
Dude, I'm so sad.
You know, I think when we were first starting out, that was one of the guys that you had told me to go check out. Originally, I was not gonna only do food.
Damn, Tech, you are.
I did a couple of video game streams, and they were god awful. Dubal remembers the beast just being super loud. The fans in my computer were just like drowning me out. It was terrible. It was terrible.
Interesting.
Real cringe. So then I just decided to do what I was good at, and I kept with food.
I feel it. I don't know. You know, it's fun to change it up and try some different things. You know, so can't blame you for that, but. I'm sure it was all right, at least. I remember watching a couple. I enjoyed them. But yeah, man, his show was legit. And so, actually, one of the producers was... oh, man, I don't know why I'm blanking on all these names. It was... oh, God.
You probably need to get some herbal inspiration.
Yeah, maybe. I've been a little bit chilling on it. But it's funny, Justin Warner talked about, he's like, one of my buddies who, should I say, partakes of the herbs of the earth, when he mixes a couple, he calls it a 2-cheese blend. Which is just,
man, I'd be doing that all the time.
Yeah, 2-cheese blend. That's funny, because like, it's just so good with like the chef thing, but,
that's the cool thing. I wish I kind of wanted to smoke Denver weed. I wanted to, but I just didn't have any time there. I wish I would have had more time in Denver. I want to smoke Denver weed. You know, they're like legendary. We're like,
well, dude,
you know, we're like neck and neck.
So is it straight up legal in the state there, or is it medical?
It is legal, recreational and otherwise. We got shops on every damn corner.
I'll help you out.
It's a great time to be alive.
Dude, nice. Well, what I'll say is my greatest experience, and I think our greatest time in terms of quality was when it was medical. And when not everybody could be about it and there were kind of better regulations, now that it's legal, the quality has gone down terribly. Horribly.
Yeah?
Unbelievable. Terrible.
Wow.
Really, really, really sad. But when it was medical, dude, there was some strains that I would frickin' just, I don't know what I'd give for again.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Well, it's kind of funny. We have a company out here called Fat Panda, and Ember, I will definitely help you with that.
I know
you can go back and look. I actually have an eggplant lasagna vegetarian dish that came out so damn good. I ate the vegetarian one faster than I ate the regular one.
Oh my god. Is that you got that on YouTube?
It might be on there. It might be on the Twitch, and if it isn't, you can always hit me up and I'll get you kid. But so we have a company out here called Fat Panda that does marijuana products, and they actually have like 3 different qualities. But I went into the shop the other day, and they usually have like 12 different strains just from Fat Panda, and there were like 3.
Wow.
And I was talking to the bud tender, and he was like, "Yeah, they are so popular now that they're having trouble keeping up with growing."
Wow. Yep.
Like,
Makes sense.
But they have vast like grows where they do this stuff, and they just cannot keep up with it.
Well,
because the demand is so huge. It's like what, $30 billion a year in the U.S.
Christ.
now, just in cannabis tax.
It's crazy.
And that's just tax.
Jesus. Yeah, man. I mean, I was thinking that my idea was that once it was legalized, then there's a lot of competition. Everyone and their mom's going to be opening a shop, right? So to me, that means the quality is going to have to go up if you have that much competition, and the price is going to go down because that's what competitive business is. Oh, yeah. And it just was not that way. It was just so much mass production that there was no care in the quality, and people just wanted to buy whatever, and it's just crazy. But
well, I think that's where, like Portland, for example, I think that's where they kind of like this area kind of excels. We are all about the small batch, microbrew, like artisan.
That's
like,
what's up.
That's our jam out here.
That's what's up.
So I think that actually did kind of help. And the thing about Washington State was you could only get licenses for your dispensary by lottery.
Oh wow!
So it's like we knew it was going to go on the books, and we knew it was going to get passed, and people had already started putting in petitions to be in the lottery. So the people out here that actually have shops are people who won them via lottery. It was
literally won the lottery in so many ways. That's probably the best way.
A lot of the shops have been struggling out here.
Oh wow!
Because because of the price points. Selling weed used to be when it was illegal, it used to be a thing. A dub sack back in the day was it was a dub sack. It was $20, and now you get a dub sack for $12.
Interesting.
So a lot of people have been having trouble with that, and a lot of people have been having trouble selling. But when it first started, it was literally like winning the lottery.
Wow.
Some servers that we had out here actually won one of them. I know a couple of people who won the actual licensing for it.
Wow.
And they were making money so fast, and the banks wouldn't deal with them.
Right.
Because it's not federally legal.
Right.
Yet. The banks would not deal with them. They had to keep buying more safes to put money in there, and they would have millions of dollars sitting in that building at a time.
Jesus Christ. That's so crazy, dude.
Yeah, man, it was just such a big deal at the time that people. It was just so busy, constantly busy, and man, it was the green rush.
Yeah,
and I think it's starting to even out now, but still the demand is not being met.
Something else, man. Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, I mean, dude, Chef Shock was so dope, and that's really basically where I got into doing the Poivre, Justin Warner, and
it's so cool, man. It's so cool, and to be able to say that. DeBall tells me all the time that he makes the mac and cheese from the very first episode that we had. And it's so cool.
It's
to know
legit.
that survives. Like,
dude, I still do that
yeah.
too. Like, make the roux, and then the little extra trick is the onion piqué, which is so dope.
Absolutely.
I like that shit, dude.
That's that little extra flavor, man.
That's fancy, dude, right there. But yeah, he used more for the sauce, but he got some brined green peppercorns that I've always wanted to try to find. I think I remember. You might remember me asking you about that.
About the green peppercorns.
Yeah, in like a brine.
Yeah, they're. I think you can purchase them still.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean,
but I think I've seen them.
He got them somewhere and shit. But I just don't know where to get them.
Oh yeah, it's usually. I mean, it's in supermarkets, probably next to like capers, for example.
Okay, yeah, that would make absolute sense. Damn, DeBall, cheddar, Gouda, Swiss, and Munster all together. Oh my
got
fucking
that on
god,
lock.
that sounds ridiculous, dude. That's quite a blend right there. But yeah,
Munster's a volatile one though. Like it has a tendency to break.
Interesting.
But the cool thing about it is the Swiss though, that is like one of the most bulletproof cheeses. Like it does not like to break.
Yeah.
And that's why a lot of time it gets used for like fondues and things like that.
Oh, sure.
So you got cheddar, which is volatile. You got Gouda, which is very good. You got Swiss, which is very good. And then you got Munster, which is volatile. So he's actually evened out the cheeses so that they stick together better.
Who would have thought?
Smart boy.
DeBall figured it out.
We all know DeBall. We all know DeBall's a smart boy, though. He's a
freaking keeps his eyes open, man. That's what's up.
Anything, he's just one of those dudes that anything he puts his mind to, he's just gonna he's just gonna.
Welcome back, me. I love that. I'm just proud to know the guy. But yeah, dude, yeah, Chef Shock was so dope. So he did like one meal, like a dinner, one night, every night of the week, like, and then so he took weekends off. And he actually only did, I think, 15 episodes. But it was produced in part by Al Roker. Yeah, he had his.
So he had some financial back.
Dude, he did. And I'm not sure exactly. I think, probably maybe it wasn't quite the financial thing they might have thought it would be. I mean, he was partnered on his first stream. You know what I mean? Not even like affiliate on his first stream like you got, but partnered. Because it was legit.
That's sort of like that's that Post Malone effect too.
Yeah, exactly.
How many times is that fool streamed? And I remember watching him have 100,000 people watching him suck at PUBG.
Dude.
It's just celebrities. That's how it goes.
Yeah. But it was a legit production. Like he had the camera crew, and he was actually just doing it, I believe, in his apartment in New York. But the production was great. Like, had several cameramen. They had somebody working the broadcast software, whatever it was, probably OBS, and it was super legit, man. And they made some really cool stuff. But yeah, that's kind of where I saw the Poivre, and man, those green peppercorns I still dream about. I don't really do au poivre the typical way, because typically you're gonna kind of crust the steak with the peppercorns, and I just kind of actually use a salt and pepper and ground coffee rub on the fillet. Dude, oh my fucking god. It's ridiculous, dude. It's so fucking ridiculous.
I actually do coffee in my rib rub.
Mm-hmm. Dude. That's umami.
Oh, yeah.
That's umami. And, I actually have this hot sauce that I got. Really super good company called...
So what do you think about pre-made spice blend?
There's a lot of them out there. I haven't even messed with that many. Like, probably the only one I've ever messed with, and it was like a year ago on my birthday, making some crab legs, like some Old Bay. But
Oh, Old Bay is indispensable.
Yeah.
I don't care what anybody says. Old Bay is
Yeah. But I don't have anything against it if it works. I don't ever really use it, you know? What about you?
Yeah, you know. Oh, man, I hit up the McCormick's ones.
Oh, yeah.
I hit up the Grill Mates one.
Oh, yeah. That's a good call. I use a lot of McCormick's seasoning, you know. Just basic stuff, though. I mean, I kind of just go off the recipes. But I respect that you don't really even mess with the recipes.
Oh, man, I mean, I'm not real pretentious about it. Like where seasonings come in, you know. Like it's if it works, it works.
Yeah.
And if it's delicious, it's delicious. You don't have to be pretentious about it. You don't have to, you know, not necessarily spice-wise. The spices make the meal.
Yeah. No doubt.
So if you look at the what is it, Montreal steak seasoning, right?
Yeah.
Look at the stuff that's in it. It's the exact stuff you would put on a steak.
Sure. Exactly.
And you know it's fresh because they run through that shit like crazy.
Remember, what do you put in
right?
that?
It's not going to sit in your cupboard for a million years. Like, you run through that stuff.
Gonna use it up.
So I'm not pretentious about it.
Yeah, no, it works if it makes it easy. I mean, but I just, like I say, I mean,
I know that Ember could probably throw down.
Oh, heck yeah. I mean, I just like to make it the way I like it. And however I get there, it's whatever, right? So what about you? What is your favorite dish?
Oh, so, you know, what your answer kind of is the same as mine. It sort of mirrors mine. There are two different schools. Mm-hmm. Obviously, the first thing that comes to mind is diver scallops.
Oh,
I think diver scallops are the most delicious thing on the planet, especially if they're seared perfectly, you know, cooked to this sort of like translucent sort of you know, thing in the middle.
Damn,
but then
Amber.
you also have to go last night on Earth. You got to go pizza.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? Like, when it comes to it, it's like pizza, man. Like, if it's my last meal, it's gonna be that.
That's a good call.
A smorgasbord, pizza, American Chinese food, and like the dankest diver scallops.
Oh God. So do you cook up the diver scallops?
You know, I think I would, just because I think I'm the only one I trust.
I get it.
You go to a restaurant, I mean, unless it's like a really expensive restaurant where, you know, you expect it to be done perfectly.
Yeah.
Everybody else likes to overcook scallops, and there's nothing better in the world than perfectly cooked scallops. And there's nothing worse in the world than overcooked scallops. They're like rubber balls. It's terrible. You never want them overcooked.
Yeah.
And they're so expensive.
Yeah, and the difference is what, maybe 30 seconds, probably less. I don't know. I've never cooked scallops, to be honest, but
yeah, 30 seconds is probably accurate depiction.
I mean,
the other thing that I like about scallops is that scallops don't lie. When you put a scallop on the pan, and it does not matter unless it's like a super nonstick pan.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter what oil you put it in. It doesn't matter what you're cooking it in. That sucker is going to stick to that pan like glue as soon as you drop it on the pan. And it will not come up properly until it's ready. Oh. As soon as it's cooked on that side, it'll come up.
Really?
But not before that. You'll rip it in half, you know, like it's yeah, so to get the perfect sear on it, you know, you just salt, pepper, and put it on a smoking hot pan. I mean, literally smoking. And then it'll sear perfectly, and then that's when you know it's ready, when it starts to come up naturally.
Oh my God.
You just pop it over, and then it's literally like 10 seconds, 10, 15 seconds of the hot pan on the other side, and it's cooked.
Wow, really?
Yeah, I mean, they're so delicate, and that's why when you watch cooking shows, the scallops are like the dreaded thing. It's the dreaded thing, you know. Like people are always like, you watch the Gordon Ramsay shows, people are always like messing up scallops.
Yeah,
and it's because it's difficult, and that's literally what I cut my teeth on. Like, I started my first day on a line cooking scallops.
No shit.
And it's nerve-wracking because even back in the day, and we're talking like 16, 17 years ago, even back in the day, those things were expensive. It was like $15 a pound back then.
God damn.
Back in the day, we used to get these big ones that were like as the big as the palm of your hand.
Oh my God.
Like just big boys. Nowadays, you can't find those, man. They just don't.
Just too overfished, so to speak.
Well, most of the scallops that we get nowadays are not wild. They're usually farmed, but they take a long time to grow. Just to get to that size, people don't have the patience to grow them to that size. And when you look at a scallop shell, you look at the scallop itself is literally just the muscle.
Right.
All it is the muscle that opens and closes the shell.
Sure.
Everything else, the guts, all that stuff, Western cooks do not use it. Asian cooks understand that you can dry that shit out and make it into this delicious powder, but we don't.
Damn, dude, that's crazy. So, can you get local? Well, can you get wild? Can you get wild scallops?
I don't know. I imagine you could. You can get anything you want.
Yeah.
So Ember asked me if I can have pork. I absolutely can have pork.
Have you ever had
pernil? I don't
what is
think
that?
I have ever had.
So, dude, because now I gotta try some scallops, but I want to do it right. Like, I'm probably not gonna cook it, but where do I gotta go?
Right, Costco, right? As crazy as it sounds.
For real?
They have a bag at our Costco. Maybe not the same for you. But they have a bag at our Costco. It's like $50, and they're pretty good sized scallops. And so I've been thinking about getting them, but it's like, man, can I justify $50?
Quite a bit, dude. I don't even drop 50 on a steak,
But I mean, you're going to be able to feed probably like 6, maybe 7 people.
Really?
With that bag.
That many?
It's not too bad.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I mean, I think they're 31s.
Wow.
So, that's a good tip. When you're looking at shrimp or seafood or things like that, you'll see a number on it, and it usually has like a fraction, right? Like there's ones that are like 3120. We'll just say 3120. You're looking at shrimp.
Okay.
What that number means is there are between 31 and 20 of them per pound.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So anything below that, it says U, right? It'll say these are U10 scallops. That means that the maximum amount that you can have in a pound is 10.
Oh.
So U10 scallops are pretty expensive usually. And I think those are 2120s or something like that. Or 1620s probably. So they're still pretty big. 20 scallops per pound are still pretty big stuff.
Okay.
And that same thing goes with shrimp too. So if you get U10 shrimp, those things are
massive.
Like 10 shrimp for a pound.
That's freaking. Okay, cool, dude. That's really great to know. All right, so then, like, how would you do it? How would you cook it?
Like if I'm gonna cook a scallop.
Yeah.
So the easiest preparation that I can say is going to be the best for scallops. Scallop is literally just salt and pepper. I like to hit it up with salt and pepper, and then I like to keep them a little bit dry. So you kind of towel them off, paper towel them off before you cook them, and that helps with the sear because it draws out the juices a little bit more. And that's what causes that nice golden brown sear.
Oh my god!
And literally, that's all you need. You can eat a scallop with just a little bit of salt and pepper, and just sear it off, and you can eat it just like that. I like to add. I take white miso and honey, and then I also take this special Japanese mayonnaise that's called Kenko.
Oh,
well, Kewpie's good too. Kewpie's good too. Kenko is a tiny bit more robust. I think it has possibly a little bit of like garlic, a hint of garlic to it, and I think maybe just the tiniest bit of horseradish I tasted there.
Okay, something with a little bite.
Yeah, so it's literally just white miso, honey, and kenko.
Wow.
And you mix it up until you get just the perfect flavor, and you just drizzle that over your perfectly seared scallops.
Oh my god. So you mix it up. You mix up the honey and the miso and the kenko.
So it sounds almost like what Ember is talking about here is like the same kind of meat that you would make almost for a Cuban.
Oh, okay, interesting.
So I may have actually had that before. But yeah, it's actually marinated in like the pork shoulder that you get for your Cubans. It should be marinated in citrus.
Oh god, that sounds good.
Gosh, yeah, that sounds great.
Oh my god.
Fight each other over the leftovers.
Damn, dude. So you salt and pepper the scallops, and then just throw them in a screaming hot. Like, so how much do you season them? Like, do you kind of liberally coat them, or?
I wouldn't say liberally.
Okay.
It's just a dash, just a pinch over each one.
Okay.
And sometimes, depending on the quality of the scallop, you don't even need pepper.
Wow.
Just a little bit of salt. Really.
Yo, Fonzie, thank you for the host, brother. How you doing?
Hey, we got another host.
That is Fonzie, aka Arthur Fonzarelli. We call him around here. That's my man. Amazing. Right there. Sweet. Okay, so little salt and pepper. If they're the crazy ones, maybe not even any pepper. Oh yeah, I'm a dessert fan for sure.
Depending on the quality, like if you go to a fish market or something, you should be able to get some pretty good fish in Denver, yeah?
Nah, I don't know. We're a little ways out, dude. I mean, the first thing that's gonna hit us, like, it's gonna take a day to get there. Like, you know what I mean? Unless it's farm raised around here, which I have no idea. But we're inland, a little bit. But so about, and then
yeah, for sure. I don't know a lot about it, honestly. Like,
yeah,
I don't know a lot about Denver.
It's kind of.
I know it's up in the mountains, and I know it's cold there.
Yeah, no, a lot.
I think there's a lot of hipsters there, so you got to be able to get some stuff.
Yeah, no, we get decent things, but in terms of seafood, it's probably not as bad as like Kansas or Iowa or something, but like a little better.
Can we talk about that Game 7 for a second? I know you're not a basketball fan.
Dude, yeah,
somebody had to have been watching that.
What? With the Nuggets?
Oh, your Nuggets just got whooped.
Uh-oh.
They are out of the season.
Fuck.
Just got beat by my Trailblazers.
That's too bad.
You know that iconic hat that I used to wear all the time?
Yeah.
With the swirl on the bill?
The Op9.
That's a Blazers hat.
Oh, okay. Damn. Yo, yeah, Ember, I mess with the dessert. My favorite dessert.
I'm actually wearing the Op9 hat right now.
Dude, I love it. That's your signature, man. I love that so much. It's so tight.
I got to take care of this thing because I don't think I can find it anywhere anymore.
Damn, Ember.
Maybe I can find another one. This one's got a lot of character to it.
Yeah, I love it, dude. Ooh, Ember, I don't know. Favorite dessert.
Favorite dessert.
That's tough. Well, damn, it's all good. Like I say, my grandma's chocolate chip cookie recipe, that's top. I love me some cheesecake. Cake of any kind, basically, maybe. But I like yellow cake with chocolate frosting. That's what's up.
That sounds so.
So what?
So classic.
Oh yeah. But
yellow cake with chocolate frosting is a young warrior.
Oh yeah, staple. But
let's see for my favorite.
Yes.
You got on yours. My favorite. That's a hard one because I'm a candy junkie. But it's got to be New York cheesecake, man.
Yo.
Straight up.
A good cheesecake, like the most ridiculous crust, and then just the preparation of, the cheesecake itself, like, can go a lot of different ways, I think.
we made one for Maryland CS.
Oh,
I think.
mm-hmm.
I can't remember her actual tag. We made one for Marilyn's birthday. It was around Christmas, and I used Oreo cookies for the crust.
Oh yeah.
We took out all the filling, man. I think Deacus ate the filling too.
That's interesting.
It's ridiculous.
You could make something with that.
It's not good. It's not good to just eat the frosting by itself.
Yeah, probably.
But so then we used mint, and we made it into a grasshopper cheesecake.
Oh, fuck.
That was a theory that I had put together. I'd never actually made that thing until I made it on the show. And it was the best thing ever, man. I made another one, and we just ate it.
Amber, good call. Oh my
we just ate 2 cheesecakes that year. But, yeah, man, cheesecake's obviously one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Probably the most favorite.
I mean, you can mess with some different things with cheesecake, right? Like, you can do it anyway.
Yeah.
Caramel. Like, pretty much anything sea salt caramel. Bro, I mess with the salted caramel shit. Of all types.
So Ember, what do you think of Cinnabon?
Cinnabon's the shit for me.
It is the shit, man. I don't care what anybody says.
It's fucking
Your
delicious.
Mama don't make better cinnamon rolls than
No.
that. That shit is mastered.
Of course.
They have mastered that recipe.
It's ridiculous.
They mastered it so much that teenagers can make it, and it's still fucking good.
Yeah, exactly. even lawyers on the witness protection program can make it.
Yeah, right. Like they got I see these kids down there that can't even wipe their own ass, but they can make those things.
Right.
These young ass 17-year-old first job kids in the mall.
Right.
They're still banging out.
Still could get it.
Going.
Mine was a deep cut to Better Call Saul, but I don't know if anyone caught that.
Cinnabon-filled casket, she says.
Hell yeah,
right.
Fonzie! Thank you for coming,
I know my
man.
girl Ember. I know she had to have been down with it.
Listen, the only reason you would hate on Cinnabon is like that you're jealous or you're just a hater. I don't know, because that shit's delicious. You can't deny that. There's no denying it. But yeah, man. But I just have to get to the bottom of these scallops. So you gotta pat them off dry first, and then season.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then what is the oil you're putting in the pan, or butter, or what?
So obviously, when you're gonna use a screaming hot pan, you want to have something with a high heat, high smoke point.
Mm-hmm.
And so obviously, you're not gonna want to use olive oil or anything like that. I actually have been into avocado oil.
Yeah.
But coconut oil would also work very well in that.
Damn.
Anything that's a high smoke point oil. And you don't want something that's gonna pawn off a bunch of flavor on it.
Right, right.
Like I would say, there are some oils like safflower oil or something like that do have higher smoke points, but they also put off a funky flavor.
Like maybe like an almond oil or something, or peanut oil.
Yeah, peanut oil does work great. It's very high smoke point, and it also makes things crispy.
Ooh. Dude, peanut oil then, huh? Oh, shit.
Go for it. I like frying in peanut oil.
Yeah.
When I make my fried chicken, I definitely go with peanut oil.
Ooh. Oh, that sounds good. Okay, cool. So how long on that first side? Like, till it pops up, but what is that? A minute? Less?
So, now... Yeah, the popping up is kind of a thing, but it's about a minute or a little bit over. Just you got to feel it.
Oh my God, Ember. Okay, yeah. And then you flip it over in 10-15 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, so we're worried more about the presentation, right? So that one side has to be perfect. But you definitely would rather undercook, not have to worry about searing the other side, so that you maintain the right temperature. If you overcook a scallop, you ruin it, and it's expensive.
Yeah.
It's a costly mistake.
Yeah.
So 10 to 15 seconds on the other side. And a lot of people, when they open it up, it's a lot like fish, like salmon. You want to eat salmon medium rare. I don't care what you think. Medium rare is the way to have good salmon.
Absolutely.
But it has to be good salmon. If you got some shitty farm salmon, you better cook the shit out of it or just not eat it. That's better.
That's better.
You know, just like, but it has to be medium rare, and it's just like that with scallops. They have to be like translucent. Not opaque, not rubbery, translucent.
God damn. That sounds so good, dude. And then your little concoction of honey, miso, and the Japanese mayo.
Yeah. Yeah, you can definitely use Kewpie, but I prefer Kenko, but Kewpie works just as well. I don't know what it is about Japanese mayonnaise, man, but they do it up better than any mayonnaise in the world.
For sure. Well, they usually use full egg, whereas some others don't, huh?
Yeah, I think they're honestly like more on the kick of like aioli. I want to say. Which, by the way, there is a difference. Aioli could be considered fancy mayonnaise, but it definitely has garlic in it, and that's the big difference between mayo and aioli. Aioli is usually hand whipped too.
Yeah, right. Damn. So you could just straight up whip up a mayo just with like whatever oil.
Yeah, it's literally just oil and eggs.
Oh yeah, the eggs.
And a little bit of lemon or citric acid just to help to emulsify. It helps to cook the eggs so it's not as dangerous.
Right.
You know, there's a lot of things like that, like Caesar dressing, for example.
Right.
Caesar, it's thickened with egg yolk, but the acidity actually cooks the egg yolk while you're making it.
Interesting. Yeah, I think only once I've ever had true Caesar made at the table, you know.
A lot of people do not know that there are anchovies in it.
Yeah, anchovies, absolutely.
Every Caesar that you get, even the shitty stuff in the bottle, has anchovies.
Has anchovies, interesting. Dude, I mess with the anchovies. I love anchovies.
Oh, yeah.
So
many people just, like, they get vilified. They're just one of those things that people vilify without thinking about.
Well, it's fish, and if you don't really mess with fish, like, but that's the thing to me, I don't get, like, hardly any fish flavor, but just the salinity, mostly, is so good. With
wow,
salad.
Really? You don't get any fish flavor out of those?
Like, I mean, a little there is, of course, but it's not overpowering like a sardine fish flavor. Yeah. I can't mess with sardines, dude. I don't like sardines.
I feel like the oil that they put into that makes it kind of like if you ever had mackerel. Mackerel puts off that oiliness.
Yeah,
it reminds me.
I don't like mackerel either.
So you got to make mackerel the right way. That's coarse sea salt, and you have to broil it, skin on.
Okay.
And you have to make peace with the fact that it's a fishy fish. It just is. But if you can make it buttery by broiling it with the right kind of salt, and then getting the right amount of rice with it, white rice, broiled mackerel, that's breakfast.
That's breakfast. I love it. All right, so I guess we're getting pretty close. How you feeling?
Yeah, I mean, you know, I could hang out with my homies all night.
I love it. Well,
I'm gonna have to probably start hitting up dinner soon.
I hear you. I mean, we've been going. So, but I do want to finish with talking about a little bit of pizza as your other favorite dish, which of course you've made, you know, on the stream and everything.
Yeah, we did pizzas specifically for viewers.
Yes, and I had one. I can't remember.
The Young Warrior pizza. You know, that was one of Thekis' favorites.
Oh shit! Oh damn! I can't even remember what I said.
By far, Thekis anyway. Her all-time one. I think it was a chicken one, wasn't it? Yours was.
Probably, I think it's probably like chicken
out
bacon
of
ranch.
out of all of those, and she still asks me to make it was IPCs, which was really, I did not think that was going to be as good as it was. It was pesto and mushroom.
Oh hell yeah! Oh my god.
Yeah, chicken feta and
yes, what's up?
White sauce, yeah. And we made those sauces on the show too.
God damn, so good. So what? So if you're messing with pizza, you're making the crust, making the sauce, baking it off.
See, now I would like to be a purist and say that I would make it, but if we're talking about last meal kind of things, it has to be from like my favorite pizza place. And we got a couple of them out here. They're local, and we live in Vancouver, Washington, so it's not like they're well-known places. There's a place called Giuliano's out here. It's run by
God, Ember, that sounds good.
And they are known for putting like 4 pounds of toppings.
Yes. That's
I mean, it is so much. Like, you can eat 2 slices. They got one called the Hurricane. That thing literally weighs 8 pounds.
Oh.
The extra large, 8 pounds.
That
and they've had to make their crust in a way that it can handle all of the juice from the toppings and stuff. So it's still crispy on the bottom. They use grates. I don't know. They're pretty secretive about how they make it.
Interesting.
But they use grates. It's fairly thick, not like deep dish, but close.
Mm-hmm.
And then so it's very crispy on the bottom, and it has that oiliness of deep dish where it gets that crunch and it's got the oiliness to it. And they put about like let's say if you wanted to get a pepperoni, they put about 2 to 3 pounds of pepperoni on it.
Good freaking
and they don't
God.
separate it. They don't separate them. They just bam. It's like big chunks of like pepperoni, and I don't know what it is about that, but I love it.
That's the shit.
That's one of them. Well, the other one is Fultano's.
Okay.
So Fultano's is a coastal one. I grew up in Clatskanie, Oregon. It's a really tiny town, like one stoplight town. And this guy started a pizza place called Fultano's out here. And I think people like to call it Detroit style.
Sure.
I don't know.
Like a red top.
It's that really thin crust, red top, like all the way to the end, right? Like the sauce goes all the way out, all the way.
Yep.
So it's that really thin, almost crackery crust, but it's more substantial, and it has cornmeal on the bottom of it. And the sauce is actually an arrabbiata. So arrabbiata sauce
that sounds good.
Got a little bit of spice to it.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
So you get that really crunchy, like delicious dough with a little bit of spiciness of the sauce. And then the cheese is, it's your basic cheese. I think it's provolone mozzarella mix.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
And then, so this is going to sound crazy, but it actually
welcome back, Tay.
My favorite one that they make is actually smoked oysters.
Oh, shit. For real?
Yeah, we get smoked oysters from Netarts Bay out here, which is brackish water. So they're really very clean tasting oysters, and they smoke them there. Like the people of Netarts Bay actually smoke them.
That sounds crazy.
So yeah, they used to get these like local oysters, and they were smoked and delicious, and they're in linseed oil, I think.
Oh, really?
But anyway, yeah. For something about it is the sweetness that you get from the oyster, and the arrabbiata, which is kind of spicy, and then you get that like cheesy just goodness about it, and along with the cracker of the crust, it's just this perfect mixture that no one ever figures would happen. To this day, I will still go buy oysters and bring them there, and they will make it for me. But it's not on the menu anymore because nobody would order it because they didn't think it was good, right?
You bring them the oysters?
I bring them the oysters, man, and they put them on there for me.
Hell yeah, that's what's up.
And
that's crazy.
That's another thing. And I think there's something. Behind this, where we're talking about teenagers, right?
Mm-hmm.
How the recipe's so bulletproof that a teenager could make it, right?
Yeah.
And that's what they mostly employ high school kids at Fultano's. Now he's got like 5 different locations, all along the West Coast.
No shit.
Yeah, and it just started out in that little town. And his main tenets were be the community center of this town. He sponsors little leagues. He makes sure that little league goes on. He sponsors different kids activities and things like that. He buys their uniforms, keeps their pictures on the wall. Like when he goes into a town, he is trying to become the center of that town, because pizza parlors used to be a big deal. Before Domino's, before all that garbage, pizza that comes out where you get it delivered to your house. You would go to the pizza parlor.
I mess with oysters. I like fried oysters.
That was a place where the community got together. around a pizza in a town.
Sure.
You know, I've always romanticized that, and I've always kind of wanted to do that.
Oh, dude, Operative.
A tiny town in the mountains, you know, and make a pizza for the people.
Right here, dude. Right here, man.
Something that the whole town could be proud of.
That's
this is our pizza. This is our style. You know, like,
well, it's interesting you say that, like, you know, and describing that first place that has those big pies. I don't know if you've ever come out here and had Bojo's Pizza. You ever hear about Bojo's?
I haven't. You know, the only pizza that I saw from Denver was the one they had in the airport, the Lavaza. I didn't have time to get to it.
Nah, I never messed with it. But Bojo's...
I really need to go out to Denver.
Dude,
spend some time
please, if you can make it, man. You know, I'll help you out whatever I can out here, you know. But
oh yeah, you know I'm gonna be hitting you up, man.
Dude,
we're gonna be hanging out,
dude, for sure. But so Bojo's does what they call Colorado style pizza, which is not too dissimilar from what you described. I mean, it's this really hearty crust that has kind of like, you know, the folded edges to keep all the toppings in, and they just pile it on, you know. But it's particular, and you know, they put out honey for the crust, and it's kind of actually more buffet style, to where you could be like, hey, like, can you make this type of pizza, and they'll fucking whip it up for you.
Nice.
Yeah. So, but it reminded me of that first one, and I think you would actually dig that. But you know, that's the thing about pizza, isn't it? Is like, you can define a town, a state, you know, by a type.
I mean,
but then equally so, yeah, like, but then, you know, you could have that type Chicago style. It's a deep dish. But then you could go to any different spot around there, and it's different, it's unique, you know, but it's still within that realm.
You know, I'm trying to think of a way to clean this up. But I had this
you gotta stop asking about it.
And he had this saying about pizza. He said that pizza is like sex. Even bad pizza is still pizza.
Still pizza.
So, like, you know, you could eat a Totino's pizza and it's still gonna do you good because it's still pizza, right? Like, I mean, I still eat them, right?
Yeah.
But you know, that being said, I've had Chicago style pizza in Chicago. I've had Detroit style pizza in Michigan. I have not had straight up New York style pizza. I mean, from New York.
It's interesting because I don't know if I have either. Even though I went to New York, and you know, I was hanging out with Scalawag, because he was living there with his wife, and I was heading over to Europe, and I was like, well, then, you know, because I was stopping in New York anyway to jump over, so I was like, shit, I'll stay a couple days, you know, and we ordered in some pizza, but was that New York style pizza? I don't know.
Yeah, just because it's in New York doesn't mean it's New York style pizza.
Yeah, maybe not. I think the
funny thing about New York style pizza, Thekus was raised in Manhattan. You know, she's been raised all over, but she was basically from Manhattan for a long time. Mm-hmm. And it's basically like whatever burg you're in, whatever's across the street from you.
Yeah,
that is like the holy grail of New York pizza.
Yeah,
from what
makes sense.
Everybody I ever talked to is like, you got to go to this place across the street from where I grew up or whatever. And that's where I think food comes in an interesting way. Your grandma always makes the best meatloaf you've ever had.
Straight up.
Even if it's trash. Even if it's trash.
That's what's up.
It's just the memory of it. You know, the memory of it is what really makes it good to you.
That and that is actually what I was coming to, full circle. Kind of a nice point to sort of start to end it out, is these things, these meals that we love, you know, that we keep coming back to, that, you know, maybe we try to perfect, or just, you know, that we're attracted to, we don't know why, is the memory, the experiences we had early on, you know, that link to a certain place or a feeling, you know, it reawakens that, you know.
Yeah, my grandfather was he was a hunting and fishing man. You know, he raised us off of the stuff that he caught and hunted.
Wow.
And my grandmother didn't like to cook, so she left him with the cooking. This man was a logger.
Really?
Okay, he was not a gourmet. He was not a gourmet.
Interesting.
So he used to, he'd be out logging in the forest, and he'd come across chanterelles, and he'd bring them home.
Oh God.
So he would make, chanterelles, simple preparation, just butter, salt, pepper.
Oh God.
And I'm talking about margarine. Like this wasn't real butter.
Yeah. My grandma's used margarine almost strictly like her whole life.
I don't understand what it is about these old people.
Dude, I know. Well, see,
they said butter was bad for you. They told them butter was bad for you.
No. Her thing always was that she hated rancid butter. She had like butter that had gone rancid one time or something, turned her off for her whole life. But the interesting thing is, she's never had cholesterol problems ever.
Yeah.
So that's kind of interesting.
So my grandfather used to hunt elk. And elk to this day is still one of my favorite meats.
Oh, wow.
It's lean and full of flavor.
Mm-hmm.
But my grandpa, he used to make them into hamburgers and burn the fuck out of them. Like just burn them to
just hit them hard, huh?
And then he would put ketchup over it. And for some reason, now that's the most disgusting thing that you can think of, right?
Yeah, I respect that.
But for some reason, I miss it.
Oh, yeah.
Like I miss the flavor of that charcoal burn hamburger with ketchup on it.
Freaking Maillard reaction to the max.
Mm-hmm. That's the Charizard
Maillard.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
But yeah, a lot of times the memory of the food that you grew up with is it sticks with you, and that's comes what you like, and a lot of what you don't like. I come across a lot of people who mask their dislike of things by saying they're dietary restrictions.
Sure.
Like I can't eat spinach because I'm allergic to it. Nah, man, come on.
Nah, man, come on.
Spinach how you like it. Just haven't had spinach how you like it.
Exactly.
Don't lie to me.
Exactly.
Just tell me you don't like it.
And
you'll get a lot of shit for the things. People get a lot of shit for the things they don't like.
True, and that's
like,
that's why they.
Like this?
Yeah. No. Yeah. And I mean that's the excuse as to why they make it, because they don't want to be judged or whatever.
That's true, Tech. And I got to tell you, Tech's up over here talking about, for the people who won't actually see this, he's talking about going back to the old ways and how we're not meant to be behind computer desks, and that's what's causing depression and stuff. And in a lot of ways, I think a lot of people are really yearning to go back to that. They're really yearning to go back to that time.
I think so.
I know I do. I really do. I want to go out and into the country and make mead and make an oven and make bread and grow my own vegetables.
Dude.
And do those things. I have that inside of me.
I yearn for that too, man. I got
to get away from the city. I gotta.
I hear you, man. Yeah, where was I? Well, getting out, into some of the mountains and things, and you get away and you go, damn, this is nice, man.
We say those things as we're on our computer,
right,
and I'm talking to you over Discord on the phone.
Exactly.
But so we got soft. We did, and there are a lot of pleasures that we have with this internet technology. Young warrior, I feel like we are good friends.
Oh yeah.
I feel like we have known each other, and we never met face to face ever. But still,
it's there.
We know each other. We know each other.
I have that feeling, and I don't think there should be a stigma, to say if you've never met someone in person. Although there is something so powerful about the in-person thing, but you can still, like, just even from a person's voice, seeing them. I think there is something to, the stream, to where you can see the person, hear their voice, and interact with them. That's about as close as you can get, but it's not the same.
It's an interesting world that we live in, where we are more connected than we have ever been, and more lonely than we've ever been at the same time.
Yeah.
I mean, I suffer with it too. A lot of times I'll come on Twitch, and I don't even participate in Twitch anymore, really, but I just come on to see you guys because I'm lonely or I miss you.
Sure.
It's weird. It's weird to have that feeling for people that you've never actually met in real life, but you realize that real life doesn't really matter as much.
Well,
when we're still sharing things with each other.
Yeah. It's definitely a unique experience, I think, for our generation. And probably that's why there is that stigma because it never used to be that way for any other generation, period. You know, but we still make these connections and these relationships, and you know, yeah, a good example is DeBall. Another good example is Sit Back. You know, I mean, I talk to that dude pretty much every day. You know, and we maintain we're like best friends. You know, never met the guy
For sure, man.
You know,
You and Sitback are like,
oh yeah,
inseparable,
dude.
You're not even anywhere near each other.
It is, man, and you know, I
But Sitback's a special dude too. You
oh,
know,
for
Sitback
sure.
That guy is all heart. He's a big, amazing
Hell yeah, Tech.
person.
Thank you,
his
my
personality.
man.
Same with Ember. Same with the Ball. Like all these people, it's crazy how we can talk about these people that we have never met, and you will know exactly what I'm talking about. Tech, you know who Tech is.
Yeah,
Because we spent time with them.
straight up. Even if he changes his name,
Yeah, you change your name.
a rose by any other name, still is sweet.
Yeah, he ain't a rose. He's a bottle of Jack Daniels.
All right, all right. But yeah, it's good, man, and I'm grateful so much for you, Op, for all the legends. But man, we do have a connection. There's no question.
That's true.
You know,
The Warriors, that's what makes the Warriors special, is when you come in here and you feel the love, you feel a connection, you feel like you belong here, and it doesn't take very long, man. It really doesn't take very long to get into the mix of things, and a lot of it comes down to the way that you introduce people
Yeah.
to what you do.
sure, yeah. That's interesting.
You introduce people to what you do,
Wow,
and
Wired,
you pull
interesting.
people in right away. Like
I'm
you're
glad
their
to have
friend,
you here,
like you've known
Wired.
them for a long time. And Cassie does the same thing. A lot of people that we, they put the positivity tag. You remember positivity streams or positive streams?
Yeah.
You remember when we used to do?
Yeah, the tag.
A lot of those people, we used to hunt for those people. We really did. We used to hunt for those people so that we could go out there and find people like us.
Dang, huh?
And we did. We found a lot of people who really mean that about positivity. Like Cassie is one of them. She's rocking right now. Like,
Yeah.
I know she's over there just
Damn, Tech.
making
Yeah.
people fall in love with her.
I
That's what she
don't even
does.
think
She's-
about
she's
that, Tech. I
such
just
a
do
bright
it.
person.
You know, it's kind of interesting.
And you're that same kind of person, man. It's a different flavor,
Yeah.
but it's the same thread with a different needle. That's all.
So well said, as always. Op9, the most poetic. I appreciate that, man. Well, what it is for me is it's just natural, It's what I got to do. It's what feels right. And
Hey, that's what comes out the most, and nobody thinks
Yeah.
that you're forcing this.
well, I couldn't if I tried, and I think that's what I've always maintained is the most important thing is just to do it authentic, and that's why I entertain these different ideas of doing different things, because my interests change, and I'm into this thing this day or into something else another day, and I follow it, like I try to listen to it. I try to keep my ears open, and
I took notes on everybody when I first started streaming. And the one thing that I took a note on from you, and I always made sure to try and do it, was when somebody comes in and announces that they are here, you make it seem like you haven't seen them in 100 years and they are the most important person in the room. Every single person who says anything, you come in and just make them the most welcome. And that's what I always wanted to try and do
hell
when I was
yeah,
streaming.
dude, you did for sure. Yeah, I don't know, man. I just I do. I want people to feel welcome. I want to acknowledge them, let them know, hey, I see you there, and that I'm grateful that they're here, because I am so grateful.
Oh man, Tech. When I realized that I wanted to stream, I realized that I was a noob at it. I had no idea what I was doing. I never even thought about doing it before, and So yeah, I definitely took notes on the people that I thought was doing it right.
Scala, my man.
And
How was dinner,
Young Warrior
dude?
was one of those people, man. IPC was one of those people.
Yeah.
Those people were doing it right. They not just because of their success. That was the last thing that I looked at. Not just because of their numbers, but because of how well they're doing. You know, how are the people, as many or as little, responding to that streamer?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And that's where I learned. I learned from the best, man. And I really went around and looked at the best. I looked at the people who weren't getting the attention. I looked at people who were getting all the attention, and everywhere in between. And it's all about a feeling that you get when you come here. It's like when you walk into a Young Warrior stream, it's like walking into the man's home. That's what makes it special.
Yeah, I'm doing good, meat. Man, I appreciate those words so much, Operative. You don't know what it means, man. I mean, just acknowledgement, you know. Because I wonder sometimes, you know, it's like, am I doing the right thing, or, you know, is what I'm doing enough, you know? But it all gets set aside when I come back and just say, look, I'm gonna do me, and I hope people enjoy it. And I've always had, you know, the response. I mean, people do enjoy it and they come through. And yeah, I'm not the biggest streamer by any means, but the love that I get, I mean, it's overwhelming sometimes, you know, and I can't even imagine, you know,
I feel you,
getting up there. And honestly, I mean, I don't know, man, like, in a way, I wouldn't say I'm, you know, worried or scared, but I think about, you know, if we had, you know, 500, 1,000 more viewers, like, I mean, I don't know if I could have the interaction I do. And even up at, you know, like talking about Cassie and stuff, like, you watch her try to keep up with that chat sometimes, and it's like, dude, like, how do you?
She really. I feel like she took a break for a minute, probably because of just how she was blowing up. You know, like, she is really, really moving when she's on that stream, just talking a mile a minute, trying to pay attention to everybody. Like, yeah, that's tough, man. And she wants to continue to have the same product. And you're the same way, you know. You want to have that same product for everybody. You want to make everybody feel the same way that you made the first person feel when they walked in.
It's for sure.
You know, if the ball came in here and dropped a sub on you right away,
100%. And then
because that's who you were.
Only because he was just a little bit quicker on the trigger than you, my dude. You were the closest second within like seconds, dude.
You make people believe in you, dude. You really do. You make people believe in your kindness and your ability. You make people believe in you, and that's cool. We need things to believe in this world.
Hell yeah. God damn, bro. I don't think I could receive a greater compliment. And I've said that to you a lot of times, dude, because, well, you know how to, you know, really encapsulate it and verbalize it, put it in an eloquent way, you know, and I'm super grateful for that.
I got the fancy words, yeah.
But I'm grateful for it, man. Makes me feel something, you know, that no one else really gives me, you know, and I'm super grateful for that, man.
Yeah, warriors to the end, man. You wanna pull Scalawag in here?
We're about to wrap it up. We're actually only gonna go 2 hours. We're at like 2.5 now, but I think we're gonna jump into some games pretty quick here, even though we could probably go a couple more hours at least.
For sure, man. Well, this has been super fun,
dude.
It's been an honor to be on here and to talk as much as I have with your peeps.
Yeah,
kind of rekindles that feeling that you get from streaming, man, and I appreciate you sharing it with me.
Dude, the honor is mine. I'm really, really grateful to have you on, and this is definitely not the last time. Hopefully soon again.
Oh, for sure. Keep going with this, man.
Dude.
Scalawag. When I saw you doing this thing with Scalawag, I realized that you had something special with your podcast. Keep doing this. you're getting so much better at it, man. Just holding and carrying the conversation, and you're getting great at it.
Oh, cool.
And,
Thanks,
I can't
dude.
wait to see you just slay it like you always do. You slay everything you go at. Just I'm gonna be here. Warriors till the end.
Dude, yes.
Shields up.
Shield up, baby. No, man, I'm super grateful for you, Operative. Always have been, man. You are day one OG supporter. Yeah, I'm always grateful, man. And yeah, this is probably my favorite one so far. So, yeah, man, we're gonna definitely keep doing it. And yeah, I hope to improve always, and just keep it fresh and fun. And dude, with a guest like you, man, it's so easy, man. Shit.
Yeah, I can stay talking. I'm a storyteller.
Yeah, dude. It's so good. But yeah.
We need to get who's your next one? Who are you trying to get on?
Dude, I'm gonna have to work it out. I was actually talking to Danny.
Tire Assassin.
Tire Assassin, yeah. He's good. You
should see if Stink will get in.
Oh yeah, there's a bunch, man. I really basically want to get all the legends in at one point. I mean, get to Ball, get Ember, Stink,
for sure,
Sit Back.
For sure.
Like,
I think Sit Back would be a good person to have like co-piloting for you.
Yeah, no,
it's hard to do.
Well, Scalawag.
Hard to do when people aren't there.
Yeah.
Like when people aren't right there, but. Like, I think bringing up people's artwork and the things that they do would help with your shit. This is all shop. We can talk later. But, yeah, having a guy there that can get up those links in time and Tabal's the best in the game at that. So
dude, for sure. Well, yeah, Sit Back, too, for sure. But Scalawag is kind of the dude we've talked about, him kind of co-piloting. Because he's really always been into, the podcast thing, so. But, oh shit, good boy Eddie, my pop. Just got here, was doing Game of Thrones. Oh shit, okay, so it's about to blow up.
Eddie?
About to blow up now that Game of Thrones is over. Slay me.
Yeah, we didn't even think about that, huh? We're competing with the biggest show on television in history.
Dude, I know. Fucking. And still we're killing it.
Yeah, man, the numbers have been doing good. We've had many good legends in tonight.
Oh yeah,
we had a good one.
Dude, Tech, if you would honor us with your presence, my man, I want everybody on. I mean,
sure.
If I'm doing it every week, I gotta have fresh people. So, but
I mean, we're warriors, man.
That's it.
Bring all the warrior generals.
That's what's up. You said it. Dude.
Plus, most of the warriors that I have noticed, most of the warriors that I know have something interesting going on. Like they make art, or they make food, or most of the people that come in here are artists themselves. So
absolutely,
there's always something to talk about.
Exactly, man. Yeah, man. It's a special group for sure, but yeah, I mean, even last week Ellie, came through, and man, we had a great conversation. That was probably my favorite up until today. Talking about food and different things. I mean, she's a music teacher. Like, yeah, everyone has, something special to offer. So
I look forward to it. I look forward to what you're gonna do with this, and I'm gonna be around.
For sure, my dude. Appreciate you, man. Yeah, thank you so much again, Operative. Yeah, I just want to be respectful of your time too, man. And we said about 2 hours, so we've already gone well over that. So, but
we can get to talking. You and me can get to jabbing, and that could go on forever.
I'm saying.
Yeah. Thanks for having me, and thanks, Warriors, for listening to me jibber jabber for 3 hours. Sorry we couldn't get Scalawag in.
Yeah, I know, dude. Me too. Much. I really apologize.
We were gonna have Danny on, right?
Well, yeah.
You're gonna double us up.
Well, yeah. That's kind of what happened. I mean, I think this is actually what happens on probably on Joe Rogan and different podcasts and things. Is if you do it once a week, then you got to kind of work to get them lined up, and then sometimes people commit and then they can't make it, or so then you have a backup. But then the other guy comes through, you know, so it's kind of like, well, you know, so
sure.
sometimes you'll double up, sometimes it'll work, but basically, yeah, and dude, Scalawag, I apologize, but that's kind of why it was earlier, because I just was wanting to be respectful of Operative's time, and you know, got to do it when we can, so I just had to do it when we could do it, so. But yeah, appreciate you so much.
Well, all right, Warriors. I'm probably going to stick around in the chat while you guys do your gaming.
Hell yeah.
And, yeah, I'll be around. Thanks for having me on.
My man, thank you. The honor's mine. We'll definitely be talking with you soon again.